Dude. Okay, we're live. Hey, listen. Welcome to In the Paint. And I know, let me just throw this out there real quick. I know you see this square box around my face framing me. I apologize. I'm having a hard time dealing with this, but guess what? I'll figure it out and I'll have it resolved for the next broadcast. So for tonight, you're just going to have to deal with it. I'm sorry. It is what it is. So like I said, welcome to In the Paint. We broadcast from 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's about 10:30, 11 o'clock tonight. Thanks for joining us. And we got our guys with us, you know what I'm saying? Got that punk, the man that created the show, Mr. Mark A. Cunningham. He's here live with us. How you doing, man?
Not good.
Why? What's
you know why?
Oh, that's right. Oh, wait, there's a little backstory. Let me get back into this. And we also have my man Chandler. Chandler, how you doing tonight?
I'm hanging in, man.
Okay, good to hear, brother. For those that don't know, oh, this is a great week for me. This is really great. I'm loving this week. This is fantastic because we had a bet, Mac 611 and I. You know, Mac is very cocky. Mac is very cocky in his proclamation saying, "Oh, the Jets are going to lose every game. They're going to lose every game." And I'm like, no, they're not. They're too inept to pull off anything perfect, negative or positive. More so this year, negative. Last week, they almost had the win. Okay? Almost. But it slipped away from them due to that dumbass play, the defensive call. But this week, they actually pulled off a W. Now, the bet was that if the Jets remain winless for the whole season, I would have to don some Kansas City Chief gear, and everybody knows how much I hate those fans. Not so much the team, but more so the fans. I probably would have went into some type of shock from having those colors on me. Thank God I don't have to experience that. But the other side of that bet is now Max 611 has to wear the gear of a certain team from Massachusetts, probably the Boston Celtics, if I'm not mistaken. And that's going to give me such pleasure because that's you'll see him wear that, I think, probably the first week of January. Okay. And I'm so looking forward to that. You know, I really am. I'm so looking forward to that. Well, you should see. Here's the thing. I don't know if you noticed a little trend between you and I, my friend, on betting and sports. You seem to lose most of.
No, yeah. we're tied right now.
Oh yeah, no, we ain't tied. We are not tied. Stop
what other bet I lost?
Listen. All I know is I was at a certain bar, and I know I had some drinks on you.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I can't think of one loss that I've had. I can't.
Pacquiao.
Whatever. Okay, that's one. So one. We are not tied. You have more L's than I do. Okay, the bottom line. As a matter of fact, I could be that meme of Floyd Mayweather, like with the L's passing them out. Like, yeah.
No, you can't. My head is hurting right now.
He ain't gonna pay up anyway, so it don't really matter.
Yeah, because how long has he owed you an iced tea, Mr. Chandler?
He gonna wait for that till whenever we meet, which is
hell freeze over.
Yeah, exactly. Max
he'll get his iced tea.
No, Max 611 is a cheap brother. Okay.
I'm an Aquarius. I'm frugal.
Very.
I'm gonna leave it at that.
You're very appropriate. Okay, gotcha. So anyway, let's get into this show. Glad you guys are with us tonight. Thank you, people in the chat room. Also, people viewing. Appreciate your love and support. Let's get into this into sports talk here. The first thing on the docket tonight: Milwaukee Bucks. Giannis. Don't even ask me to pronounce that last name. I'm not doing it.
Antetokounmpo. Say it with me.
No.
Oh no, I'm messing it up already.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm not saying.
You only get it one time. I did it like the first times.
I think the only one of us out of the three of us will be Chandler that probably knows how to pronounce that last name because I cannot do it. I'm sorry. I'm not even going to attempt to make a fool of myself. You know,
you do that very well though. So keep going.
Yeah, whatever. Anyway, Giannis signing a supermax deal with the team, 5 years at $228 million, but he can opt out after year 4. He's gonna. I don't even think he's gonna be there too much longer. To be perfectly honest, maybe a year before, probably in the 3rd year. I mean, I know they added Drew Holiday. I get that, but at the same time, I don't know. I don't know. Is Drew gonna be enough? Chris Middleton,
They added
he's a
more
good
than
player.
Drew Holiday.
Well, please add on then.
Oh, they added DJ Augustin.
Ooh, okay.
They added Chandler's boy,
Okay.
Mr. Bobby Crazy Eyes Portis.
Ooh, okay.
They got some other players.
Wake me up when I'm supposed to be impressed. Okay.
Well, it's
Please.
not about you being impressed.
Wake me up when I'm supposed to be impressed.
They still got Brooke Lopez.
Okay, that's good. Yeah.
They still got my man Dante DiVincenzo.
Mm-hmm.
DiVincenzo,
thank you. They got Trevor Graham. You know, they got some solid bench players.
Okay, all right.
They're gonna go as far as Middleton, Giannis, and you know, takes them. But I like the deal. I thought he wasn't gonna leave. And hey, when his contract finishes, he'll be what? 30. He'll be in his 30s.
Yeah, I think 36.
So he'll get
like that.
No, he'll be like 32.
Oh wait, what am I talking?
Or maybe a little bit younger. He'll be about 30, between 30 and 32 years old.
Okay,
so he'll get another big contract. And,
right.
Milwaukee is going to be a good team this year.
All right, we'll see. First of all, let me just welcome the Bishop is here in the house.
The hater
yes,
of the Brooklyn Nets.
The hater, yeah. Mm-hmm.
I saw his his digital salvos at you.
Yeah, that's all right. He get mad all he was. And it really wasn't salvos. He just mad because I was speaking facts.
He wasn't mad. He just was. I'm in agreement with my brother.
Oh well, you're too salty. You're too salty. Two salty individuals taking that frustration out.
Oh, I'm sorry, Bishop. I outed our age with the.
So no, it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, because we blessed.
Exactly. This is game 1 of the season.
Yes.
They're playing a depleted Warriors team. Let's give them the banner now.
Yeah.
Let's break out the banner now for all of those Nets fans. Let's break out the banner right now. Let's have
first of all, you and Mac as Knick fans, I know you can't talk about hyperbole.
Yes,
at least it's wait, shut up.
Nets don't have an NBA title.
Shut up. No, be quiet. Shut up. Because at least it's officially the season. You guys, after the first 2 games of preseason, all over the place. You know what I'm saying? Messing up your monitors, your screens, and whatnot. Please, whatever.
Well,
whatever.
Again, when they signed KD and Kyrie, all the Brooklyn Nets fans and the new bandwagon fans, all of a sudden, it's like, yo, we coronating them. They haven't even played a game. We coronating them the next dynasty of the league. And it's like the only thing you signed was 2 overpriced choke artists.
That one's gonna hurt.
Not really.
Hurt who? I mean, it's okay for him to think that, but I mean, at the end of the day, we'll know when the season ends. But with the Giannis thing, I don't think Giannis is going anywhere because one of the things we talked about before is we have to remember where he came from. Giannis is not American born. Okay. Right. His family immigrated from Africa to Greece. So he grew up in a loose, small town. He remembers growing up there and being different and walk around every day wondering if somebody was going to try to do something to throw his family literally out the country, which happens. Okay. In a lot of countries overseas where Africans have immigrated to, where the government one day will like, y'all got to get the hell up out of here. It's happening in Britain right now with the Windrush people, where they're literally just deporting people who've never lived in Jamaica and sending them back to Jamaica. Okay, and they were born and raised in Britain. So he's the guy from a small country in Africa, small place in Greece. Now he's living in Milwaukee. He basically grew up in Milwaukee because he came here when he was what, 16, 17? He is big on loyalty. He's big also on being comfortable. You know what I'm saying? So his whole thing is, I want to be comfortable. Yeah, he wants to get paid, but he's about family and being comfortable. And if he's good where he is, he's going to stay. I don't think he ever leaves Milwaukee. I don't think he ever leaves Milwaukee.
That sounds good, but I think he got 228 million reasons or something like that. Something.
Yeah.
228 million reasons to stay in Milwaukee. And I think he's going where the money is. While he, you can say all that about him feeling comfortable or whatever. I think it's a comfortable place for him because he can be there. He can be the star, and he doesn't have to. It's the biggest thing that happened to Milwaukee since Kareem, and he don't really have to like work on his game. I mean, he just has to come and show up with what he has been given out. They're gonna praise him just because it's Milwaukee. It's like he's been in the league how many seasons?
6, I believe.
6 seasons, and if you look at from where he started to the last season, I haven't seen any improvement in his game. It's been the same game.
No, he's improved.
No, his game has improved every season he's been in the league.
It's been the same game. He can't shoot free throws. He can't shoot jump shots. It's a one-dimensional game. I run up and down. I use my athleticism. When the playoff time comes around, when teams are smarter, I can't use my athleticism, and I can't shoot, and I can't hit free throws, so we go home.
Nah, that's
not actually factual.
That's not accurate.
No, it's not.
No, it's not.
He started out being.
So when did they been to the Eastern Conference?
He started out being basically nothing more really than a high energy guy who everybody said if about. I mean,
what is he now?
Now he is one of the top. What you could argue he's top 5 NBA.
He's a high energy guy. He's a high energy guy who's safe.
Okay.
Who won an MVP last season that he didn't deserve. And he's gonna. I mean, granted, this season they've got a true point guard. So you'll be able to see if he's really about that life, because you got a true point guard that's going to allow you to be the best that you can be without having to be the creator on offense, without having to set the table for everybody, and also that's going to highlight the fact that he has a premier half-court scorer in Middleton, so he doesn't have to do everything. But I'm still not sold on Giannis. 6 seasons. I'm expecting, if you league MVP, I'm expecting you to come back with something else in your game. I'm expecting you to be a problem every single night. And
you're not a problem every single night?
Nope. When they played Miami, Adebayo,
that's a series, and sometimes that happens. But
in the regular season too, when they played Miami beat them. Like,
listen, if you take him off of Milwaukee, what is Milwaukee?
The same way, huh? The same way.
They're not. No, they're not. They're not a playoff team if you take them off this roster.
They're not even a 50-win team if you take them off.
Well, they're playoff. They might be a playoff team, but they're not the same team without.
If they open Middleton up, you'll see more. It's like the coach that they had last season. He didn't really know. The coach that they have.
You stuttering.
Don't know how to.
Shut up.
Okay. All right. We're doing that.
Go ahead, Bishop.
We're doing that now. All right. Okay. All right.
All love, brother. You know.
Get him, Bishop. No, get him. Forget that all love nonsense.
To me, the coach that they have sucks because he doesn't know how to use the two of them as a 1-2 punch. Middleton is a whole lot better he's a whole lot better and would make the game a whole lot easier.
Is he the starting team though?
Stop cutting him off, Mac.
Is he or could he be?
No, is he? If you put him on another franchise, is he carrying that franchise?
No.
Well, it depends on what situation he's in.
No, it's a yes or no answer. Yes or no.
It depends on what situation. In Milwaukee, he's like sort of like a level right below Kevin Durant. A level right below, but they haven't used him. They have not used him.
No, stop.
No,
stop.
no.
Stop.
When Giannis,
no.
When Giannis got hurt and the offense ran through Middleton in the playoffs, what happened? When Giannis got hurt in the playoffs,
they still lost the series.
But what happened with Middleton's numbers?
I don't care about his numbers.
His numbers went up because of usage, because he's the best player on the team. But again, if you put him in another situation, is he the face of a franchise? Is he a superstar?
Neither one of them are superstars.
No, Giannis is a superstar. I can't deny him that.
Okay, well, what do you consider a superstar?
If somebody winning MVPs, the hub of the team, if you take him off that team is subpar. If you take Giannis off of Milwaukee, Milwaukee's not the same team.
With him or without him, they're still subpar. You've exited the playoffs. You've exited the playoffs.
Okay.
You won.
So a 50 and 60 win team is subpar. Okay.
In the East.
It doesn't matter if they in the East.
Doesn't matter where it is.
The last 2 seasons in the East have been it's been kind of weak in the East. If they win 60 games this season, or whatever the equivalent is in the 72 game season, if they win that same equivalent, then I'll say, okay, well, now you got something here. But they got to get out of the second round of the playoffs. But I don't think it's going to be happening like that in the East this season.
Whether they do or not doesn't change the fact he's a superstar player. I mean, last I checked, George Gervin never made it to the conference finals. He's an all-time NBA great. Last I checked, though, I mean, I could be wrong, but last I checked, he never even made it to the conference finals.
I think one.
Maybe, okay. You know what I'm saying? How about Bob Lanier? All-time, you know what I'm saying? The individual, yes, yeah. You know, at a certain point, when did this become about if you haven't won something, then that diminishes you? Because you don't you have some control, but you have no control over whether you actually won a championship. Okay, you honestly don't. Things happen. All right, guys get hurt. The team is bad. The coach does something stupid. Whatever it is. Okay, but you can only be. Giannis went from being some basically a guy who most people thought would never be more than a 6-man off the bench who could just rebound and run, to a guy who makes a 10 to 15 win difference in your franchise. So whether he ever gets out of the second round, whether he ever wins a championship, it doesn't diminish him. Right. I don't know when it became about, well, if you haven't gotten this far, then there's supposed to be there's something wrong with your game. I don't know when that happened, but I totally disagree with that line of reasoning.
When you have the best record in the league 2 seasons in a row, and you're eliminated and you're demolished in the second round by the number 5 seed, right? That proves everything that I'm saying. So I'm not sure what it is, like individual stat. James Harden had just as good as stats as Giannis did. So in the Western Conference, that's a tougher conference. So again, but he still went home after the second round. So that's why we have the conversations about Harden not being that guy. So
But Bishop, James Harden is not defending James Harden because he doesn't show up in the playoffs. Well, he doesn't show up in the big game, which is the game. He has epic fails in game 6s and game 7s and the conference final series. Right. Well, he's a superstar as well. I can't take that away from him. I can't I can't take that away from Giannis.
The fact that we having a conversation about Giannis, I'm just giving the equivalent to say, okay, well, we have those same conversations about James Harden, and at least he gets to the 6th and 7th game.
But they're both the face of a franchise. They're both superstars. If you took James Harden away from Houston last year, that team is not a good team. That's not a playoff team.
Right.
Okay.
But if you what Chandler is pretty much saying is because they're a 60-win team, because they had the best record in the league, and so forth and so on.
Partly because of Giannis.
That counts for something. But what I'm saying is, when you get eliminated in the second round, it means nothing.
You're right in that degree, but it doesn't take away from who their stature is as being superstars.
So,
KD has failed before. Is KD a superstar?
Apart from me saying that they had the best record in the league last season, does it really matter who had the best record in the league last season?
Okay, so I got a question for you, and this is kind of an apples to apples comparison, because he played in Milwaukee, and the team didn't do anything until Kareem came there. Oscar Robertson never would have won anything without Kareem, right? Does that somehow diminish his career?
And then Kareem left. How was Milwaukee after he left?
My point is, we can talk about a guy being not being a good playoff guy. We can talk about him choking in the playoffs. That doesn't take away from the fact that he's an all-time great. Those are two separate conversations.
No doubt. Mm-hmm.
Yep. We can agree to disagree, Bishop.
Yeah,
I still love you.
No doubt.
You still my man, 50 grand.
No doubt. No doubt.
We just disagree on that one. Do I see Christmas ornaments back there, brother?
Yeah.
Happy holidays to you. Happy holidays to everybody.
Thank you. Chandler, Dom is not here, so I feel the need to rile you up emotionally. So forgive me. I'm having Dom withdrawal.
Oh my God, that's hilarious. What the hell?
The Mavs got bounced a few times.
Now you want to talk about a guy that wasn't a true superstar. I'll argue about Dirk Nowitzki not being a true superstar all day, every day, and twice on Sunday.
Yeah.
He let little 6'7" forwards terrorize him in the playoffs.
He's not even the best German player to ever play in the NBA. That would be Detlef Schrempf.
Ooh, I don't know about that.
I do.
But
I'd say better. He's a better player.
But he won a championship.
Career.
But he won a championship, though.
Okay, so Robert Horry won 5. What's your point?
Yeah. Well, I mean, how many players play in the NBA and win 5 championships?
There's been some. I mean, I think Derek Fisher won 3. Anybody putting Derek Fisher in anything?
Well, that's because he played with Kobe and Shaq. So
he still won 3.
He won 3. Yes, indeed.
He won 3.
Yeah. That's Andre Iguodala won a few championships.
It was dudes in the group saying Andre Iguodala is
I remember that.
Player.
I remember that conversation. That was ridiculous.
And see, when they do that, they make us sort of disrespect Andre Iguodala because he was a fine player.
Yeah.
Had he not gone to Golden State, he still would have been making. He was still was an all-star bubble guy who get like 20 points a night, 19 points a night, 5 assists, 5-6 rebounds.
Right.
You know how Dom always goes in on Rachel Nichols, and I kind of usually defend her. I might have to get on board with Dom because she said something today, man. She needs all of her credentials removed from her because she said Chris Bosh is a Hall of Famer. She needs every single credential she's ever had removed. She needs to be thrown off TV.
Wow.
Well, Chris Bosh was the man in Toronto.
He's not a Hall of Famer.
What's his numbers?
I don't care what his numbers are. Tell me when he was ever a top 10 player.
He was a top 20 player.
I said top 10.
Hey.
Let's talk.
Listen,
Dwight Howard.
If you're gonna go in the Hall of Fame, at some point in your career, you got to be a top 10 player for me. Okay, because the Hall of Fame is supposed to be for the iconic players, people who have made an impact on the game in some way, things of that nature. It's not just players, but people who have made a lasting impact on the game. Okay, right. Chris Bosh made no lasting impact on basketball. He did make a lasting, and I know they include college. Even in college, his college career was okay. It wasn't some amazing college career. It's not the Hall of really, really good, or we really like you, or you were really nice.
Well,
it's the Hall of Fame.
So would you be mad if he got in, Jim?
Absolutely.
I wouldn't be mad at him.
Man, listen, I would cut the power during his speech.
Wow, damn.
Well, what position did he play?
Right there.
What position did he play?
Power forward.
So he played power forward. He was one of the few power forwards that could shoot the ball, put the ball on the floor, create off the dribble, was a good help defender, put up decent numbers throughout his career. Got 2 championships. So
okay, I mean, the word you said, decent numbers. He put up decent numbers.
20s and 10 rebounds.
He sacrificed numbers going to Miami.
And in Miami, he became like that glue guy for LeBron and Wade, but he got 2 championships out of it.
Okay, so
he sacrificed stats to get those chips.
Take away the championships. Do you even mention Chris Bosh as a Hall of Fame?
Well, now that he got the chips, it brings him into the conversation.
Wow.
He just asked if he didn't have the 2 chips.
Well, I'm going to use one of Don's things. If pots and pans, what?
All right. Hold on. All right. You know what? So basically, everybody who wins a championship gets in the Hall of Fame now. That's basically what I'm hearing.
Nope. Here's his numbers. 19 points, 8 rebounds, 2 assists, a block and a half.
Yeah, that's Hall of Fame number 19. Listen, Zach Randolph averaged 20 and 10 physical. Look up. Matter of fact, give me Zach Randolph's numbers.
But
I'm saying, was that just overall career, or was that in Toronto?
That's his overall
career.
What's his numbers in Toronto?
In Toronto, first year he averaged 22 and 10. Actually, I'm gonna go to his first 2 years. He didn't average as much. I'm going to his prime years. In his third year is when he put it all together. 22 and a half, 9 rebounds, 2.6 assists, 1.1 blocks. Second year or fourth year, 22.6, 10.7 rebounds, block and a half. 22.3, 8.7 rebounds, 2.6 assists, 1 block a game. 22.7 the next year, and they averaged 10 rebounds again. 24 and 10, 24 and almost 11 the next year, and then he went to Miami.
Yeah, that was his best season.
And then in Miami, he had 18 and 8.
Yeah. So he basically like a 20 and 10 guy for his whole career.
Yeah. There's a lot of 20 and 10 guys. Like I said, I would bet that Zach Randolph's close to 20 and 10. You gonna tell me Zach Randolph's Hall of Famer too now?
How many championships did he get?
Oh my God.
0.
And he played, and Chris Bosh played with LeBron James. Chris Bosh played with LeBron James and Dwayne Wade in that dynamic trio. So you're gonna get some credibility just based on the fact that you were a part of that big 3.
And he also made
Tristan Thompson's the Hall of Famer.
Shots.
So Tristan Thompson's a Hall of Famer.
No.
Why not? He averaged 20 and 10. He played with LeBron. He won a championship. He was a glue guy.
He won 1 championship with LeBron.
Yes, he was a glue guy. He sacrificed stats. So he must be a Hall of Famer.
I don't think Tristan Thompson ever averaged 20 points a year.
Also, Chandler, Chris Bosh was on several All-Star teams. He was on the Olympic teams.
He's not a Hall of Famer.
I didn't say he was. I'm just being devil's advocate. I'm doing what Art does. I'm lawyering up.
Okay. Stop that nonsense, did he have? What lasting impact? What generational? Was he a generational player? No. Was he somebody that impacted the game? Put it like this.
Was he a generational player? Yes, he was. Actually.
No, he wasn't.
At that size.
People don't even.
Yes, he was.
People don't even remember Chris Bosh played. People don't even remember Chris Bosh.
Chris Bosh was a generational player.
How was he a generational player?
At that size, what he could do with the ball.
Play the game.
That's not true.
No.
Yes, it is.
Now you bugging. Let's
okay. Okay,
we're gonna agree to disagree on that.
Yeah. Let's move on. This next one should be funny as hell as well. The Utah Jazz extend center Rudy Gobert by giving him a 5-year, $205 million contract. I first saw this and my drawer just dropped.
Can I say this,
Go right ahead,
Chandler,
brother.
didn't I tell you last year he wasn't going nowhere?
And
I told you that, right?
They should get rid of him. Yeah, but what's your point? He's a Hall of Famer too, because he's 20-10.
No, he ain't 20-10. But I told you they wasn't getting rid of him, and they was gonna work it out with him and Donovan, and they both signed.
Right. I don't know. I don't know about this one. I mean, I think I had put this post out there and I said, well, or does it even matter? You know, when I said, does he deserve it or does it even matter? And my feelings have not changed on that post whatsoever. I'm just at the point, it doesn't even matter. Everybody's getting freaking paid. You understand what I'm saying? Whether they deserve it or not. So
he deserved to get paid. I wouldn't necessarily give him near max money. He didn't take the super max because he said he wanted to help the team fiscally so they can add other pieces around him and Donovan Mitchell. But,
right.
Well, he deserves it. I mean,
$205 million.
Yeah, he's going to go down as an all-time Utah Jazz player, which ain't saying no when it comes to centers. Him and Mark Eaton will be guys that they'll be talking about for always with that franchise.
Okay, granted.
So when you look at it through that lens, I don't have a problem with them giving him the money because that's the franchise he's going to play for. He's always going to be associated with them. They'll probably retire his jersey, like I said. And people, Mark, and I brought up the name Mark Eaton. Outside of Utah, who the hell remembers Mark Eaton play? But you talk about Mark Eaton in Utah, and people's eyes light up because they remember Mark Eaton and the impact
if
he had.
If you ain't a real head, you really don't know who Mark Eaton is.
But Utah fans know him. You understand what I'm saying? So I don't have a problem with the franchise saying, okay, this is a guy that is going to be here. He'll always be synonymous with our franchise. Our fans always remember him when we bring him back and have him as an ambassador and stuff like that. People are going to flock to see him. So you know what? Get your money, bro.
But if they got rid of him, pretty much he fits what they do.
Yeah.
Great defensive guy. He scores in the post. He's improved, over his career, scoring in the post. Averaging almost 16 points a game the last 2 years.
Generational.
Rebounds. No, he's not generational, but he is. No. He is. Well, he's generational for a defensive player. If you're looking for a great defensive player.
Will Purdue. I said Will Purdue.
Exactly. Marky.
But hey, if they let him go, that's a big hit offensively.
It is
on that side of the ball because Gobert is a good player. He's an all-star type player, and I wish my father gave me some of that height he had. Mofo was 6'3". I'm gonna keep saying that to the ends of the earth. Left me with 5'7". That is a sin.
Put some lips in your shoes, bro.
Lips? That's not going to help. Give me the 5'9".
Oh boy, I tell you, Bishop, what's your take on this Rudy Gobert contract extension?
I really don't care. I hate Utah. I
forgot. I forgot he hates Utah.
I really don't care. Like, it's like
I forgot.
They're a team in the league. They got to play games, and that's all I have to say.
Wow. Yeah. Well, I'm not. Listen, our brother Ronan Black just said Rudy Gobert's agent must be Scott Boras. Gobert is a thief with that contract. I'm not mad at Ronan for saying that. I'm not.
I ain't mad, but thief. That's kind of strong.
Sometimes a strong statement is needed. Sometimes a strong statement is needed. So I'm not mad at that.
It's the market.
Yeah, it's the market. But okay, so
at some point,
I guess we could quantify Harrison Barnes getting his money, right?
Oh, I wish I was Harrison Barnes right about that. He doesn't have two sweet contracts.
Exactly. The great Harrison Barnes. Exactly.
Wait, Could you tell them about our friend on Twitter?
Oh my God, no, I can't do it tonight. I can't.
My man said the Knicks should trade for Harrison Barnes. I'm like, we don't need that, homie. We don't need $80 million on the roster.
See, this is why he'll never. This guy, Mac and I have invited this guy on this show so many times, not even funny. And he's terrified because he knows if he comes on with that BS, he's gonna get eaten up alive. You understand? And
look, Bishop had to move and readjust.
Yeah, exactly. I'm telling you, it'd have been something else.
Harrison Barnes, really?
Yeah.
On the Knicks?
Yeah.
That contract?
They're trying to dump Randall, and I hope they do.
Yeah, but would you dump a bad contract for another bad contract? Do that even sound right?
No. They were saying to get Trevor Ariza and George Hill from.
Oh my God!
Wait. Why? They don't need those. They both over 30. I like them both as players.
Right. But at the same time. But then again, it makes sense. That's the Knicks.
That's the stop.
That would make sense.
That's stalling.
But that would make sense.
Why? Yeah, how does that make sense? Because
well, I'm saying I'm being sarcastic.
It also stunts people's growth that need to grow at the positions they play.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Because it looks like they actually got a player in that kid quickly. Now I know it's the preseason, and in the preseason, I don't look at numbers. I just look at the player.
Okay,
that kid has talent. He actually has a basketball IQ. That's the biggest thing for me. He's like the only player on the team with a damn basketball IQ. If you watch him, he actually understands where to go, how to position people, how to move people. Mm-hmm. So why would you bring in Trevor Ariza? Now you're talking about stunting growth. I want to see that kid play simply because he has talent, he has a good skill set, and like I said, he has a basketball IQ. The rest of them you can have. But
I'm saying they were saying Julius Randle for Trevor Ariza and George Hill. So you get George Hill, who he ain't gonna be fighting. He ain't gonna be crying for minutes like that. He can be more of a mentor to the guard, to the young guard.
Right.
And then you get Trevor Ariza, who been in the league, who ain't gonna be crying for minutes and playing time, and he can be a mentor to the new kid, Toppin, who needs help being in the right position on defense. And then also
he need more help, bro. He need more than help.
And then also, what's his name? The other kid from Kentucky, Knox in his third season, which again, you can already see that there's some improvement on the offensive end. He's still out of position for his athleticism and his body type. He's still always way out of position on defense. And I'm like, yo, you should be a much better defender. Your arms make you like 7 feet.
He has no IQ on defense. He doesn't know how to use his size, his length, or his quickness, and he probably will always be a subpar defender. He won't be good. I'm just saying,
weren't we questioning his motor anyway?
And he doesn't have a high motor.
Well, I think.
Go ahead.
With the first few games, I think I'm starting to see a little bit more like he's settled in what I think he shoots, even though he's been hitting them. I think he shoots way too many 3-pointers for
that's the offense they run, Bishop. They have no choice.
No, I'm saying for a person
to do that.
If RJ Barrett, whose game to me is like ugly as all get up, if he could drive to the basket, and get to the basket and get foul, every time Knox touches the ball, it doesn't have to be a 3-point shot. Like I want to see some mid range.
Okay.
I want to see him take it off the dribble. I want to see him pump fake. I want to see him. He's no Tatum, but I want to see him mix the offense up because he has that athleticism and that body type to be able to get his shot off wherever against anybody and be a much better defender. And I think Tibbs will bring that out in him.
That goes to coaching. That also goes with his motor and him wanting to do that.
But also,
hold on, Chandler. It also goes to point guard play, which is why he looked better.
Yes.
Because Quigley passes the ball well, and he's a better point guard than I thought he was. And we'll see how that works out as the season goes because he is a rookie.
Right.
Randall's been playing decently. He moves the ball more, but he still does the I got to put my head down and dribble and do what I do. But he's played better in the preseason than he's played as a Knick.
No, he's still got bad shot selection.
Much either.
Still bad shot selection. He should ever take a 3-pointer. He or RJ Barrett.
They have to.
Barrett. No.
Listen, I know they can't, but that's today's NBA, so you gotta live and die with it.
Your game is mid-range. Your game is mid-range, drive to the basket, fill the lane, get offense off of defense. No 3-pointers ever.
Right. It is, but when you on the floor with Mitchell Robinson who can't hit a 3, you on the floor with Elfrid Payton who shoots even worse.
Right.
You on the floor with Dennis Smith Jr. You on the floor with Nicolina. Somebody got to take threes.
Right. But again, like I said,
until they get better shooters and let those shooters play, you're going to see what you're going to see.
With the young point guard, he's not afraid to shoot the ball. He's not afraid to drive it, and he passes. So he's a pleasant surprise.
Yes.
He's a pleasant. And he plays D. He plays D. He's a pleasant surprise. I'm like, okay, so you got a rookie come in, and this is the best point guard that you have on your roster.
Yep.
Unfortunately, yes.
All of them. And then you got the other kid, Toppin, who comes in, who plays the same position as Randall. And it's like, well, if we get this kid playing defense how he's supposed to play, not worry too much about the offense because he's going to get opportunities based on his athleticism, based on his hustle. We just got to get him to play solid defense. So, again, what do we really need Randall for with the offensive fouls, the ill-advised shots,
a bad contract,
the ill-advised shots, and not in the preseason, I watched those games. The coach called timeouts like 4 or 5 times during all of the games, because Randall is out of position on defense. And it's just like, dude, like,
well, Obi Toppin is even worse on defense.
But I'm saying he's a rookie. Randall's been in the league for how many years?
17.
We know he's a bad defender, and that's just what it is. And Obi Toppin is a bad defender, and you gotta live with that.
Do we send Toppin to the G League to get him to work on his D? Because
he needs to play here.
Okay, but here's the thing: if you got basically, like Bishop said, you got to get rid of Randall. If you can't get rid of Randall, then you got $15 million sitting on the bench.
Well, they're both going to play. One is going to start. One is going to come off the bench. And Randall is going to start because he's the better. Yeah, he's the better player right now.
I would disagree with that. Honestly, even as bad as Toppin is on defense, and he's basically non-existent on defense, I would still rather have him than Randall because Randall is a clown.
Mm-hmm.
I won't call him a clown, but that's not going to happen, Chandler. Not right now, anyway.
No.
And if they want to move Randall, you have to play him as many minutes as you can, so that he looks good, so that you can move him.
Which means that Toppin gets less minutes, and that's why I said, do you put him in the G League, kind of until you can get rid of Randall, and then you give him that spot.
He's still gonna play. He's still gonna play 20, 25 minutes, regardless if Randall is there or not.
Okay, because I liked it, like Bishop said, they came quickly. When you saw them on the floor, everybody looked like they were in the right position finally.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's the first time in years, I think since Jarrett Jack maybe, that we had a point guard who said to somebody, no, go over there. No, cut, no, set a screen. You know what I'm saying? I don't think we had a point guard actually do that since Jarrett Jack.
Right. Here's the thing. The Knicks extended Barrett and Knox, beyond their rookie contracts. So that's the first time the Knicks have done that since Charlie Ward, which smacks of what we always talked about is building blocks and drafting players and getting them to excel. The Knicks never do that. They draft people and get rid of them.
Yep. All the time.
Now, isn't that crazy?
All the time.
First people to get past their rookie contracts that the Knicks drafted, and it's Charlie Ward. That's the last time they did that.
That's insane. That don't make no sense. You know what I mean? That doesn't make any sense.
Wow. That long.
Yeah, that's a long ass time. You know what I'm saying? Yo, let's do a little moving on. Still staying in the lane of basketball. You got the curious case of Houston Rockets shooting guard James Harden, reportedly out of shape, and also more trade rumors.
And also, he threw a ball at one of his teammates in frustration and got in several arguments during practice since he's come back. Fat boy.
But yet, this is the same guy that said he didn't want to be a distraction to the team. Right. And may I add on top of what Mac just said, there was an interview with him. And, well, basically, I saw one interview where he was like, next question, when they was kind of addressed, like, what he thought about the situation, the trade situation. And he was just like, next question. But what I found in another interview that he's focused on himself and not so much the team.
Right. He wants to get traded.
On individual. You understand? I'm like, wow. I mean, yeah, like you said, Mac, obviously he wants to get traded because why would you? I mean, who says something like that? I'm just saying.
Right. You know? And it's known that he's not a guy that causes waves like with his teammates. He's a low-key person. So you threw the ball at the kid because you want to get traded. You came into camp in horrible shape.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but whoa. Let's back up for a second.
Please.
Let's back up for a second. So a lot of these guys are not going to be in tip-top shape because the season normally they would have more time to prepare themselves, get their body right before the season starts. This season was kind of like, okay, well, the end of last season, they had like a month. They had like a month before they negotiated that the season would start at this particular time. So I'll give them a pass for that.
I'm not.
As far as like, you know, wanting to be traded, I mean, Jimmy Butler did the same thing. Maybe he like, yo, you know what? If you guys are not, like that. Oh, yo, Jimmy Butler was in practice basically deboing Karl Anthony Towns. And
Jimmy Butler wanted them to play a certain way. He wasn't trying to necessarily get traded. He wanted them to be better.
He was at the point where he was like, yo, I want out of here. He became that dude. I mean, he became that dude where it was like, yo, nobody could say anything to him. They were fearful of him. And it worked itself out because they were like, all right, well, we got to get rid of this guy. So maybe he trying to force their hand where it's like, okay, well, either you trade me, can they still trade him now?
I don't know. You want an oversized James Harden who giving out honey buns to rappers?
Yep. Yeah, but it's not even about his weight because he's never been in the greatest shape.
No.
Okay, but you don't come in looking like
sloppy.
Real sloppy.
And looking like that, he still give you 30. Okay, looking like that, he'll still give you 30. All right. Yeah. The thing is,
you pull a hamstring.
Okay, well, you know what? The thing is, they're not trading them because of what they're asking for. And we had this conversation. Oh, good God. We talked about this, and I kept saying, you keep him for half a season, let everybody see him play. But I think he winds up getting suspended before he gets traded. I think if he keeps doing what he's doing, right? Because remember, that owner is kind of an idiot. The owner of the team is kind of an idiot. So I can see the owner getting his ego involved and be like, oh, conduct detrimental to the team. And James Harden sitting over there not getting paycheck, and now you got the NBA Players Association involved. They're going to wind up giving him away. And they're going to wind up sending him somewhere. And I said this before, they're going to wind up sending him somewhere like Sacramento, bro. He ain't going to no team that he wants to go to. They're going to try to do him dirty. They're going to try to do him dirty.
That's cutting your nose off to spite your face. That's cutting your nose off to spite your face. And it's kind of like, if you keep making demands of teams, you want this, plus you want this, and this. And it's like, it's much better for them to say, just stay away from the team. So if he stays away from the team, then that decreases his trade value even more. I don't think any team is worried about what James Harden can give them on the court, because it's been proven season after season after season that this dude is a problem. So no matter who you put him on the floor against, he's a problem. So I don't think teams need to see him play. I think it's just a matter of they don't want to seem like they're giving him away. They don't want to seem like they are relenting to his demands. And it's going to be the same thing like with Anthony Davis, where they still wind up looking like, idiots in Houston, and he still goes to where he wants to go. It's like it doesn't do them any good. It doesn't do them any good to say, okay, well, send them to Sacramento or send them to Cleveland, because they got nothing to give them in return that's even similar in value. Not in equal value, but even similar in value. So that would mean, okay, well, I was asking for a superstar in return in trades, but now I'm just going to take 2 mediocre players.
But
it just didn't make sense.
He doesn't have a no trade clause either, so he can be shipped wherever if they can.
Right, I got that. But
like doing that.
If you're Houston, are you going to just say, well, you know what, he made things difficult for us, so we just going to give him away for nothing?
No, you would be totally ridiculous if you did that. But Houston is trying to ask for. They're in a bad situation because of James Harden's contract, because they're asking other teams for they want a superstar for a superstar, or they want big pieces off of certain teams, like with the Brooklyn Nets. They want back, their other good players, which, if I was Brooklyn, I wouldn't do that.
Right.
No.
That's why I think that he gets sent someplace like Sacramento. He's going to get somewhere he doesn't want to go. Because the teams that he wants to go to are not going to give up the players that Houston is asking for.
Well, what I was reading before is Miami was trying to put together something. And if I'm 76ers, I'm okay with giving up Ben Simmons. I'm okay with that.
But Daryl Morey isn't, and the owner isn't, and the coach isn't. So it doesn't matter what we think. Daryl Morey came out and made a statement that he's not trading Ben Simmons, which I don't really give a damn about that. But if you Doc Rivers, you signed on to coach Simmons and Embiid, and I have enough gravitas as Doc Rivers coach, won a championship. I say, listen, no, you're not trading Ben Simmons, because I signed on here to coach him. I didn't sign on here to coach James Harden.
You signed on to coach the team. You signed on to coach the team.
That's not how it works, man. That's not how it works, Bishop.
You signed on to coach the team. Now, if you get a chance to coach James Harden and Joel Embiid as opposed to Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid, I think you jump at that opportunity.
You might think that, but apparently Doc Rivers and Daryl Morey don't. They're not giving up Ben Simmons. They're not giving up Ben Simmons. The Nets are not giving up LeVert and Dinwiddie and Jared Allen. They're not giving up half of their roster. So he's not going to the teams that he wants to go to. So now we expand it to include what? Teams he doesn't want to go to. Okay, and if I get enough bodies and draft picks, I can justify to my fan base, especially if he keeps acting the way he's acting. I can sell that to my fan base. They're going to be like, we good riddance. We don't care. Just get rid of them. So I get a bunch of bodies. I get draft picks, and I can move on. He winds up in Siberia somewhere. Yeah, you getting your 30, James, but you ain't going to the damn playoffs.
Yeah. Ronan Black said Houston can trade him to Atlanta and he'll be at home surrounded with the
Right.
Yeah, but they're not gonna. I don't think Houston doesn't strike me as an organization that would do something so vindictive like that. I don't think so. And it's again, it's like they're just gonna have to come down on their demands. That's what it boils down to. They got to come down on their demands, and I believe that it's been 76ers all along, and they just stringing it out because they were asking for too much. I don't think, because it's like, okay, again for Miami, if he goes to Miami, if Pat Riley
give the world to Miami either.
Pat Riley is sort of like a puppet master with coming up with those things and then getting guys to buy in and so forth and so on. It's a difficult sell because Miami has guys in a certain mindset, and he's not there yet. So it would take him like half the season to get there.
I don't know if he ever buys into that type of and that's the thing where I never really saw Miami as a fit because I don't think he fits what they do. I really don't think he fits. And when I say that, I'm not talking about basketball. I'm not talking about on the court. You know that. I'm talking about everything else. I don't think that he fits the type of Miami player. Now, I think Pat Riley, if he could get him, would probably take him. But I don't think James Harden would be a good fit in that culture.
Right. It's noted that when Westbrook got to Houston, they're waiting on James Harden to practice and wait for him. What are we doing here? You know, and Russell got pissed at that, and other instances where the organization let James Harden do what James Harden basically wanted to do. If they went into a city that James Harden liked, say like Atlanta, they stay an extra day or so because James doing what James wanted to do.
Right.
And he's not going to be able to do that in Miami. Pat Riley and Eric Spoelstra and
Jimmy Butler,
Haslam.
Udonis they ain't having that. They about winning. They about practicing. They about getting better. And he about honey buns and strippers.
I think, you know what? The younger James Harden that left Oklahoma City, I think he would have fit Miami. The James Harden as he is now, I don't see any way he can fit in that culture. I don't see any way he can fit there.
Do you blame that on the organization and the head coach?
They take 70% of the blame, but he's got to take some too, because you're a grown-ass man. Just because, and I can speak from experience with this when I was in the military, I got away with murder a lot because I was really good at what I did. So I got to do stuff other people think. I got to get away with stuff. I got to curse people out and say things certain ways, this, that, and the other. That didn't help me. You know what I'm saying? And it also showed a lack of maturity on my part that I took advantage of it.
Which you were gonna do. Anybody would do it.
But there's a certain point where you know that you're just being a jerk for the sake of being a jerk.
Yeah.
And you do it anyway.
Right. I had jobs where I call out sick on payday and then show up 2-3 hours, got on my Tim's, baggy jeans, baseball hat, and my cousin with my check. we thought you were sick while I was, but with my check.
Right. And so he's got to bear some responsibility. But I put the lion's share of it on the organization, because if you don't set the rules, what do you think is going to happen?
Yo, Ronan is hilarious. He said the King of Diamonds strip club is in Miami. Harden will okay that trade to Miami in a heartbeat.
Oh boy, I tell you, crazy. Doesn't make any sense.
So, I think like what people are missing is like James Harden played a certain way when he was in OKC. He played a certain way. He played a certain way when he's in Houston, because that's what the system required.
Right.
There's really nothing that James Harden can't do on the court if he wants to.
But
there's really nothing that he can't do on the court. Offensively, he's a problem, and defensively,
he's a problem.
You just in today's NBA, you don't have to be a stopper. You just have to be able to stay in front of your man,
which he doesn't do.
Make the shot difficult. Make the shot difficult because he wasn't required. He wasn't required to do it in Houston.
I don't care if you weren't required to do it. He's fallen into a lot of bad habits, which are hard to reverse. At 32 years old, you gonna tell James Harden, "Yo, we need you to get some stops tonight."
Not gonna happen. Not gonna happen.
And it's off the court more than anything that I don't think he fits. It's the off the court stuff. Is he willing now again? Because he's been having his way for a while. Is he willing? Is he willing to hear no? Because apparently he's not. Because in Houston, they apparently the new regime is telling him no, and he's having issues with that.
Yeah, but you've never heard anything. You've never heard anything, regardless. You've never heard anything about James Harden's behavior off the court. You've never heard about any issues.
Because they covered it up. Because they covered it up. Because they were winning. Now that's where all this stuff is coming out now. The organization is letting all this out now because, okay, you want to be a jerk about this? Okay, guess what? Now we're going to spill all the tea. It's kind of like the Mark Jackson thing. Okay, we heard
Chandler,
about a lot of
Chandler. We've always known James Harden is the strip club king.
Exactly.
But the majority of the the casual NBA fans, a lot of NBA fans didn't know that. So now they're hearing us like, oh my God, James Harden was a terror. Listen, yeah, that was going on a while, and that's why all this stuff is coming out. And he was late all the time, and we had to hold the bus and hold the plane and da.
That, yes.
You understand what I'm saying? So that behavior was always going on. They allowed it and covered it up because it benefited them. Now that it no longer benefits them, bruh, you know what I'm saying? It's all they spilling all the tea now.
But what's wrong with the strip club?
Nothing.
Well, if you late for practice the next day, you late for film study because you was out the strip club, that's a problem.
That is a problem.
And you're still dropping 34. You still leading the league.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
But you're separating yourself from the rest of the team.
And you're still getting 34.
And that's come out also that a lot of the players on Houston weren't feeling him doing what he was doing because you now are separate from the team. James can go do this. I can't.
I gotta pick my wife up. I gotta pick my wife up, my kids up, but now I gotta be late for them because James Harden wanted to hang out last night at the strip club. So now film session is gonna be late because of him, and now I gotta hear it from that's not right. You don't get to do that, man, because you dropping 34. You don't get to impact other people's lives. You don't get to impact other people's lives because you dropping 34. That's not how this works.
Is that a function of James Harden, or is that a function of management?
It's
saying
both.
We're gonna make so it's not
both. They allow it.
Yeah, exactly.
They allowed it, which now he expects it from. He expects to do whatever he wants anytime he wants to. Yo, I ain't gotta come to camp on time. I'll be there in 2 days.
Right.
Y'all get on without me, and I'm eating everything because Joel Embiid sent me some Jollof rice and stewed chicken. I'm good. And I'm getting me some baby back ribs.
Yeah, then he went further west and got with Andy Ruiz Jr. Exactly.
Oh, there you go.
What do you mean, here we go? I'm just saying. That's true.
You can't come to camp 30 pounds out of shape.
Yeah.
No.
Yo, the camp wasn't supposed to start, and they basically accelerated the season. If the season was starting when
he accelerated his eating once he was out the bubble.
But see, here's the thing. You said that previously, Bishop. I can't excuse the guy for that. You're a professional player. No. And you knew when the day was gonna start when you was playing ball.
Right. You knew the date. Right. Like our brother in my chat.
When did they make that decision? December 1st?
No, they made that. They started talking about that damn near the day after the season ended. They started talking about
exactly.
When did they make the decision? When did they make the decision that the season was going to start on the 22nd?
It wasn't no 2 weeks ago. That's for damn sure.
It was after Thanksgiving, wasn't it?
No,
even so.
They were talking about it before Thanksgiving. Actually, they were negotiating it before Thanksgiving.
But then they made the decision, and they made the decision after Thanksgiving sometime.
But if you already know, hold on. But if you already know if they're targeting, you understand? Even before Thanksgiving, something just a signal in your head, like, okay, I need to stay in shape. I need to stop. Let me stop hanging out with Joel Embiid, and let me stop hanging out with Andy Ruiz Jr. eating tacos. Get your mind right and focus as a professional player. Period. End of story.
So let me ask you this. What was Steph Curry doing? What was Jimmy Butler doing?
Thank you.
What was LeBron doing?
Well, Jimmy Butler and LeBron just stopped playing. James Harden was out of that bubble.
So maybe they took a slight rest and he went to light working out. But
James Harden was out of the bubble.
Is LeBron gonna come back 40 pounds overweight at any time?
LeBron is an exception. No. LeBron is an exception to the rule.
How?
He's an exception to the rule. That dude is in shape. Yeah, that dude is in shape all year round, dude. All year round during the summer months.
Okay, that's
right.
That's true.
Right. Okay. And that's why he has the career he has, and that's why James Harden has the career he has.
Everybody don't have that dedication like that, though.
Hey, but James Harden got a lot of buckets. No,
that's what James Harden.
LeBron is playing to have his name in the annals forever. Like he's having his name one or two of the best all time in the NBA. One or two.
Right. And James Harden just gonna be known as
He ain't playing
that
for
dude that scored a lot.
Yeah, he playing for, hey, I had 6 scoring titles. I had how many All-Star appearances and first team NBA this and so forth and so on. And that's it. And that's it.
And that's a bad indictment on him.
Which is why he's going to wind up in Sacramento.
Oh, well.
Have fun. Have fun.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yo, let's do some more moving on. We're going to get into a little bit of lane of the boxing here. This past weekend, we had Canelo Alvarez fighting Callum Smith. And Canelo, he unified the super middleweight championship out there. Yo.
Stop it. Don't do it.
No, this isn't going to be as bad as the other fight the other week. It's not going to be as bad. I kind of figured I did say it was going to go the distance. I figured more of a split decision and I based that basically on the height differential between Smith and Canelo. I did. I'm not gonna lie. He was like 6-7 inches taller than him.
Don't matter.
You know. Well, that's obvious but I did. I'm not gonna bet against you because I said Canelo would win. I just said split decision instead of unanimous. You understand? So he won. I'm not mad at it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he clearly beat the guy.
From the bell to the from one bell to the other bell.
I forgot.
Was outclassed.
Yeah, I forgot who said it. Somebody said that Canelo was basically meat tenderizing Smith.
Yes, he was.
Which I found hilarious.
And Canelo need to finish his job because he done beat 2 of them. Because it's 4 of them that fight. They all in the same the same weight class. Beat the other 2.
They're not going against the family. They're not going in there with him. They're not getting in there with him.
What I think is interesting, what's the guy's name? Jamal Charlo?
Right.
Charlo's like, well, F it, I'll fight him. I'll go. At first he didn't want to go to 168, but then during the same that same interview, he just said, F it, I'll go to 168 and we get this fight going. Because
I would like to see
he's claiming that he says that it's false, that he's ducking Canelo. You know, he's saying that this is a bunch of BS and he claims he wants to get it on with him.
When was that, the night of the fight?
I'm not sure if it was the night of the fight or the night after the fight.
Of course he's gonna say that. He wants money. That's a big money fight for him. The fans want to see it.
Right.
I would like to see it, but I really don't think Charlo can beat Canelo.
No, from what I saw Canelo on Saturday, I think he took the fight with Mayweather. I think he took it.
Yes, he watches that tape religiously.
He took some of those lessons because some of the defense that Canelo was exhibiting during that fight, it was like, yo, that looks like Floyd right there.
Right.
Okay. Standing right in front of the dude. And it's like, dude, you 6'3", 6'4", whatever it is, with a 7-inch reach advantage, and you won't throw jabs. You are letting a stronger power puncher come in and just do whatever he want to you. And it was just like, in a couple of those shots that Canelo threw, I'm like, yeah, if that connects, it's a wrap for him. If that connects, it's a wrap for him. Right. It's like Canelo has stepped his game up. Charlo, it's like you'd be making mistakes and Canelo would be making you pay for it. You're going to get knocked out. You're going to get knocked out. And you better be able to take some power shots because you're going to eat some. And it's like, yeah, you're going to eat some. You better be able to take them. And Canelo has proven that he got a chin. So I don't know.
He has a chin. He has good power. Canelo has done what Floyd does in fights. He fights a style tuned to the boxer he's facing, and sometimes Canelo is going to be an aggressive puncher in fights, and sometimes he's going to box, which is and I love the progression he's made from what he was before he fought Mayweather. He was strictly a puncher.
Yes,
a power puncher. Now he's a pure boxer.
He's a calculated.
He calculates in the ring. Yeah. Distance. His footwork is really good. And that guy he fought was a guy a good boxer could beat a guy like him. He walks forward and he's gonna try to sit on his jab and he's gonna try to throw power punches. Those guys are easy to beat. if you can withstand their power.
But I'm saying you got a 7-inch reach advantage and you don't have a jab.
Doesn't matter.
You don't have a jab.
Right.
You
some guys don't.
7-inch reach advantage and you don't have a jab to keep Canelo at bay.
Right.
I'm just like, yeah, you. This is a recipe for disaster right here. You lucky you didn't get knocked out.
Right.
But do you guys think that we'll see the best version of Canelo, especially since he finally got away from De La Hoya, where he's his own man now? He can actually get the fights he actually wants.
In the ring. He just needs to don't fight Triple G anymore because nobody wants to see that. And I think he'll wax him very quickly if they fight again.
Yeah, that's what I want.
And what Canelo has done is he's made himself he's the middleweight champ, he's the super middleweight champ, and he's going up to light heavyweight. So he's fought in 3 weight classes and excelled in all 3.
But I'm saying, as far as like, when your mind is right, mind is settled, you can truly be the best version of you. I think getting away from De La Hoya, I think we'll see an even better version. I know with the progression thing, but I think we'll see the best version of him in every facet, simply because he got away from Oscar and don't have that nonsense dragging him down. And also he'll get to actually fight the people he actually wants to fight and make good fights.
Right.
Yes.
Okay.
I think that Mark, you made a very good point, because
which one?
What I saw in the ring from him, it was Canelo to the second power with his boxing skill and his defense.
Right.
That dude barely hit him, and he stood right in front of him. He barely hit him, and it looked like when he fought Mayweather, and he was swinging power shots for the hills, and Mayweather was standing right in front of him, and they see swinging them power shots trying to knock Floyd's head off. Floyd was just tagging him and making him look slow. It's like he made the other dude look like that, and I was just like, that's not the Canelo that I've seen before. The Canelo that I've seen before has been like a headhunter who wants to come in there and get physical
and brutalize,
and catch you with the overhand right, or catch you with the overhand left, or catch you with an uppercut. And I think if he fought Triple G now, he would probably knock him out in the first round, which I'd like to see. I don't want to see like the talking or whatever. I want to see him come in there, dismantle Triple G, and send him back to wherever he's from with his annoying English and his boring fighting style, fighting people with no power and making it seem like it's like, dude, you fighting guys that have no power, so of course you can walk forward and headhunt.
Hey, we got a lot of, as R likes to say, you got a lot of cab drivers, Uber drivers. Excuse me, not cab drivers. Got a lot of Uber drivers. He's fought
street vendors, exactly.
He fought Daniels. Did he fight Daniels? He fought Jacob.
He fought Jacob.
Yeah, fought Jacobs.
Jacobs, and it was
Jacobs almost got him.
Yeah, it was a good fight.
Exactly.
Notice he walked down that lane again. Also, Triple G won his last fight also.
Yeah, but whatever.
Nobody knew about it.
Yeah, send his ass back to Kazakhstan or wherever he's from.
Triple G fight.
I don't know.
Me neither. I don't care.
He fought a Lyft driver this time.
Yeah, and no one cares. No one cares, exactly. To
address what Chandler was saying, De La Hoya became what he said he wasn't going to become. He's become a version of Bob Arum, or a bad manager, bad promoter.
Yep, and indeed.
He's slowly losing a lot of his talent. I forget who he has left since Canelo left.
I mean, does he have anybody?
He does. He has a couple of names. He has a couple big names. But everybody's slowly leaving De La Hoya. When De La Hoya was having his troubles with the drugs, alcohol, and the other stuff, and Al Heyman and get the white guy's name they were running Golden Boy Promotions, and it was better run when De La Hoya came back.
Went in the toilet.
I don't know if De La Hoya, with Canelo leaving, and if he loses some of the other big names he has, I think his run as a top tier promoter is over.
For sure. There's no question.
I like Anthony Joshua's promoter. They do good business.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think De La Hoya sells at that point and keeps the name, but somebody else is running it. I think that's the best route for him to go. But the whole problem with him is that inferiority complex. You remember even back when he was boxing, he wasn't really accepted here. He wasn't accepted in Mexico. He was always
he was accepted here.
Well, I was stationed in Southern California then, and they wasn't really feeling De La Hoya like that.
No, they were feeling him here, and he was the top guy in boxing at one point.
He might have been, but what I'm saying is he never was really fully embraced on either side. Yeah, everybody thought he was the best, but he was never really fully embraced, which has always been a thing with him. Because everybody kind of viewed him as a fraud. He's a fake human being. You understand? He's just a fake human being. He's not a good person, and that's always shown through. And no matter what he's done, so I think that's why when things were running better when he left, and I think he's going to have to take a look in the mirror and say, "Listen, if I really want to have this business run well, I need to check my ego and step the hell away and let somebody else run it, and I'll just be, I'll be in charge." But that president emeritus deal where you just sit there and we send you a check every month. That's what he needs to do.
His ego won't allow him to do that.
I know.
I doubt it. You know what I mean? I definitely doubt it. Yo, let's do a little moving on. Let's go into a little bit of baseball real quick. Maybe not even that quick. Well, it only took damn near a decade exactly. Who knows? But now Major League Baseball has reclassified the Negro Baseball League and will now recognize the Negro League statistics.
Yeah.
After a century.
Yeah.
And they're going to recognize some of the stats.
Yes, they will.
Yeah.
Yes, they will.
How they're going to do it is interesting because then that means that that Ted Williams won't be the last person to hit 400.
Right.
Someone else will. I forget the gentleman's name. He starts with an A. I was listening to Bob Kendrick talk about it the other day. And Howard Bryant wrote a really interesting piece about it where he kind of killed baseball and because he was advocating for the whole you should have put them in there in the record books but kept it as the Negro League, so the whole separate but equal thing. And I'm not really feeling it. I understand where he's coming from. This is not the greatest way for baseball to make up for what they did, but you know what? This generation of baseball didn't do that. Okay. These are not the ones that were there in the 40s and 50s. So I understand what they're trying to do. Yeah, I'm glad that the Negro Leagues finally going to be recognized as major leaguers, which helps the cases of Minnie Minoso isn't in the Hall of Fame. Minnie Minoso's not in the Hall of Fame, and he should be. But by adding the stats now from the Negro Leagues to his stats, that helps his case to get in the Hall of Fame.
Right.
So I understand people who have a problem with how Major League Baseball is doing it. I understand it, but if you look at the bigger picture, look at the families of some of these guys who are gone. And how happy their families are that their relatives are finally being recognized in the Major League Baseball record books. And if they're okay with it, then who am I to say that is wrong? Because they're the ones who are really directly impacted by it, not me. I'm a fan. I'm a fan of Black men, all that. I'm impacted, but they're the ones who are directly impacted by this. So if they're okay with it, then you know what? I got to be okay with it because they're the ones, like I said, who it really matters to the most. But it's a piss poor way for Major League Baseball to try to rectify a terrible thing. But you know what? Sometimes better late than never. Sometimes some apology is better than no apology.
Right. I gotta agree with Chandler, and we're gonna we're gonna get Mr. Kendrick back. If you go to our archives, we had him on last year or year before last.
Yeah, I think it was last year.
He's the president of the Negro League Hall of Fame in ours favorite city or state.
Jesus, whatever.
But I agree. Long time, but the way it's being done is sort of meh. But I get what you said, Chandler. I agree with you.
Okay. That's it.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a lot we can say.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, what the hell?
because they haven't even explained how they're going to do the stats.
Right.
See, that's the part.
Right.
That's the thing that I'm looking at now. How are you going to do it? You understand what I'm saying? How are you going to do it?
Plus the records for the Negro leagues, a lot of the stats we don't know because they didn't keep a lot of the records properly.
No. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
You know?
And also maybe this will also get young Black people to play baseball again and watch, because we there's a lot of us who don't watch baseball anymore. There's a lot of kids that don't play baseball anymore, and we used to. And kids used to play 3 sports. They used to, or more than one sport. Yep. But now they get kids now, and you're gonna play basketball, or Chandler, you're gonna play football, and Bishop, you're gonna play basketball.
Yeah. And you know what's crazy is without the Negro leagues, baseball doesn't actually become America's pastime. Because the Negro League teams used to rent the Major League ballparks to have their games. They outdrew the Major League teams. But the owners, the owners were getting probably all the concessions. They were getting a cut of the gate.
You already know.
All of that stuff like that. Then if you think about the golden age of baseball, when is truly the golden age of baseball? From about 1947 on, isn't it? From about 1947 to about 1968. Who are the majority of players that when people talk about that age of baseball, who are they talking about? They're talking about all the players that came in from the Negro leagues, whether they realize it or not. Okay, not just Jackie, but Newcomb and Campy and Monty Irvin and Larry Doby, and you go on and on and on and on and on and on and on. All those guys came from the Negro leagues, and that's when baseball really experienced its greatest period of everyone loved baseball.
Right.
And now that we've kind of diminished from the sport, what has baseball become? It's become a niche sport again.
Right. Also, I know people try to beleaguer Babe Ruth, but Babe Ruth actually was trying to he wanted the Negroes to play.
Yep, he did.
He wanted Hispanics to play. He wanted the best to play the best. And in the off seasons, he would go on barnstorming tours and play in the Negro leagues. He would play in Cuba. He would play in Japan. He would play in other Asian countries, and they didn't like that. So he got blackballed. And there's a great, I gotta remember the name of it. There was a great documentary that I was privy to see about Babe Ruth, but it also in there is sidebarred into the Negro leagues, and beautiful documentary on him to show what a classy man he was. And baseball just has to I don't know how they're gonna. They need more baseball academies and cities. They need to more baseball needs to be played in the cities if you want to try to get our kids to play.
But the problem with that is, it's an expensive sport to get. You know what I'm saying?
But it didn't used to be. It didn't used to be. You remember that?
Right.
All you needed was the bat and the glove.
There you go. You're right. I agree with you. But now times have changed, brother. Times have unfortunately changed. You understand?
Yeah, they priced us out of the doggone sport. It's ridiculous.
There's a reason why.
Yeah, I know, Bishop, but I mean, if you think about it, what were the sports that we played the most? All we needed was the ball, right?
Basically.
Right. So all we needed was basketball. Hey, give me the ball. We going out to the court.
Right.
Baseball. Who got a bat? Who got a ball? All right, man. We going over to the schoolyard.
Right.
It's funny though, but I'm not sure if you brothers all did it, but my neighborhood, we started playing. We played a couple games of baseball. Then we went across the street because there was it was like a little baseball field in our backyard.
Okay.
Where my building was, and then there was a basketball court there. We went and played basketball. And then somebody brought out a football. We played all day. We switched back and forth.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Depending on how many people you had, determine which sport you played. Right.
Exactly.
If you only had like 7 people, you played basketball. If you had more, you had 8 to 10, you played baseball. If you had more than that, you played football.
Right. Pretty much. You know?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Crazy.
And I don't see kids playing. I don't see kids outside no more.
No.
How about that? You really don't.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
They don't want to get shot.
Well, that's a
Well,
whole
I
other conversation.
live in a nicer neighborhood. I still don't see no kids.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's so expensive. Now they got these travel teams where you got the parents got to pay all this money.
Yep. There you go.
You know, and you know, the kids, they got to take the kids here, take the kids here, take the kids here. The parents don't have the money for that. A lot of these, you know what I'm saying, who's got the money to pay for their kid to be traveling across? Who's got that money?
No, not a lot of parents, that's for sure.
Right
Not
now, the easiest sport is for us is basketball.
Yeah.
All you need is a ball.
Yep.
And a rim.
That's it.
Football, it just is what it is. You want the bigger kids. The bigger kids gonna play football.
That's it.
And they're gonna pay for their uniforms and their equipment, which is probably, I guess, football equipment and baseball equipment is about similar. I think we got to do a price comparison.
Right.
So with baseball, you got to think this. When we were growing up, you didn't have helmets, you didn't have all the protective gear.
No,
you didn't have all of that. You just had a ball, the bat. Some kids had gloves.
Yeah,
right, and we borrow gloves.
Yeah,
some kids had gloves, and then it would be like, okay, well, if I'm on defense, if I'm in the field, I'm gonna use your glove.
Right.
Yeah.
That's right. I remember that.
Even when I played on teams, some teams everybody ain't have a glove, so the other team, let me borrow your glove, no problem.
Yeah. There you go.
You get stuck with the left-handed glove, and you right-handed, and you get stuck with the lefty's glove.
But now you gotta have helmets.
Right.
Have protective gear, depending on what position you're playing. You gotta. So it's like it's a lot different than when we were growing up. I don't know if we were tougher or if we just were dumber. Like we didn't know the danger. We didn't know the danger associated with some of this stuff. Again, we played sports, but we played those sports on concrete.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that too.
There was a field. Like guys would be playing football in the concrete schoolyard. Guys would be playing baseball in the concrete. They had the lines drawn. It's like there's no space in the inner city for that.
No.
Right.
So that comes from a combination of things. Just limited space, limited resources, and if you are focusing on your 5 basic needs to live, you don't have that time, that extra time to dedicate to having your kid participate in extracurricular activity.
I played baseball with no cleats for like a minute until somebody got them for me.
Okay.
You know, I mean, I've told Mark this, but you know, I missed out on an opportunity to as a little leaguer to do like the traveling thing, go overseas because I didn't have a passport. Anybody listen? I was best down in the projects, man. Anybody in the projects? First of all, anybody even heard of a damn? What the hell is a passport? First of all, what the hell is a passport?
Right.
And we ain't got time to get it. All right, because anybody got no money to be taking no damn pictures, so you ain't going. You understand what I'm saying? True. And that's still true in a lot of neighborhoods, man. People ain't got passports in some of these neighborhoods. They haven't even heard of a passport.
For sure.
They lucky if they have a New York State ID.
Right. Y'all know I love basketball, and I still try to watch high school basketball and AAU basketball. Yo, I witnessed a couple years ago. It's basketball is so big that kids are playing on more than one AAU team. They playing on 2 travel teams. Just crazy. They got their bag. They got like 2-3 jerseys in it. Where you going? I'm going to my other game over here.
Yeah, well, a lot of that is just to get money anyway. Because
of course,
so to me, it's kind of like, there may be some value in travel teams, but the only thing they're doing is they're shipping players from one geographic location to where you are, and shipping you from where you are to that geographic. So it's like a circle, like a carousel, in order to make money. There's no reason why you can't attain a competition and increase your basketball IQ and your skill set in the same geographic location without traveling and the hotel and all of that stuff. It's just it's all become like a commercial business.
Yep,
it is.
It's crazy when I traveled to Atlanta a while ago, from New York to Atlanta. I'm seeing kids on the plane. I'm seeing kids in the hotel I was staying at. I'm like, we are going. Oh, we going to this tournament. Where you from? From this city? We really? we went as far as the Bronx. Maybe New Jersey.
Yeah, and Bishop is right because and I was watching the game before we started the show, and Chris Webber said something. Y'all know I don't have no love for Chris Webber, but he was like, "Oh, kids, if you want to get better, you got to play against people that's bigger than you and taller than you and older than you, and you want to play against kids from other areas." I'm like, why do they have to play against kids from other areas? Why do they have to go somewhere else to play? Now, there's always going to be somebody older than you when you playing. There's always going to be older kids. All right, so you're not really saying nothing, but then if you think about what Bishop is saying, you don't have to go to Hawaii for a tournament to get better at your game. You don't. You know what I'm saying? I mean, the guys that we know played and we saw play growing up and all that, they wasn't going all over the country. They was playing right there in the tri-state area.
Yep.
All right.
That's true.
They was playing in Cunningham Park on the weekends and
Cunningham Park
and West Fourth and you know what I'm saying? Come on, man.
Yeah, man.
They wasn't going to San Jose and all these other places. And they all made the NBA. It's funny how that works.
Right. Yo, let's still stay in Atlanta baseball. Let's talk. Here's oh boy.
Well, I just had one comment before you move on.
Okay, yeah, go ahead, brother.
So now that they are attempting to recognize the Negro League players from baseball, I'm wondering when they're gonna recognize some of the architects of hockey, because
yes,
that's not happening, bro. That's not happening. I'm gonna tell you, I'm a hockey fan. I'm gonna tell you that right now. That ain't happening for at least another 30 years.
I was just throwing it out there into the universe.
I hear you.
Just throwing it out there into the universe because hockey was a black sport before they took it over.
Yeah, they act like Willie O'Ree was the only black person that ever played hockey. It's the only name you ever hear. The whole bunch of them.
I'm just curious when that's gonna come to fruition. Throwing that out into the universe.
That might not. Unfortunately, that might not come to fruition. So New York Yankees. Yeah, this really has been bothering me for a minute now. Yeah, yes. All right, so it's rumored that they're far away from DJ LeMahieu's asking price of 5 years for $125 million, averaging $25 million a year. What's the problem? What is the problem here?
They actually they are discrediting him and
Mac, let me tell you something before you even say another word, because I get it. I agree with you. Discrediting. How can you discredit this guy? He's been the best player on your team the past 2 years.
Right.
And I seriously hope, I really hope that he starts entertaining other offers and goes someplace else. I really do.
He might wind up in Toronto because
he can go wherever.
They want him, and they have a good team. They got a lot of nice young players, and those players want to embrace him as the veteran leader that they need.
I hope he goes. I hope he goes there.
They got Bo Bichette. What's
they got Biggio, Bichette, Guerrero Jr.
And Guerrero Jr. They all want him to come there.
I'm sure.
They got the Gurriel kid whose brother plays. They got Travis Shaw whose father played. They got a lot of legacies up there.
That's
and
right.
If y'all remember Toronto, and if you remember Toronto last year, and I told y'all Toronto was going to be good, right? That team is 2 players away. They're 2 players away. That's a LeMahieu and a stud pitcher away from winning the American League East.
Right. Exactly.
Okay.
Right.
This is why I don't trust Hal Steinbrenner. Chandler, we've gone in on this before. As far as with Hal and to a lesser extent Brian Cashman. You understand?
Yeah, what's with the penny pinching right now? You ain't penny pinched to get Giancarlo Stanton and his shirt behind.
They lost money. they lost money according to them. They lost too much money. But again, I told you guys, we talked about this 2 years ago.
Exactly.
When Hal took over, it became about the bottom line, not about winning.
Right.
And his whole thing is he is going to hold the line at a certain number. And Brian Cashman has convinced him that with his analytics, they can win. But yet, funnily enough, who won the World Series last year? Los Angeles Dodgers. Who had the highest payroll in baseball? Los Angeles Dodgers. It's funny how that worked.
Say it again. Los Angeles Dodgers. Los Angeles Dodgers.
All right. Oh boy, I tell you,
I'm tired of our New York organizations being penny pinchers when you got money in your coffers. You're the New York Yankees. You've been making money for 50 damn years.
You got your own network. Knock it off. You have your own network. You know what I'm saying? You had your own network for years.
Right. What? And if you did lose a little bit of money last year, so hey, you got money.
Not trying to hear that, man.
You know what? If you hadn't been stupid last year, and if you had signed the guys in the offseason that you didn't want to sign, you would have won last year. Then you would have made some money. But this is coming down to, it's just like the pitching. Now you're telling me that for 5 years, all Cashman's been talking about, we need more pitching. But now that you have a chance to sign Trevor Bauer, you don't want Trevor Bauer. Well, he's a little too flamboyant and he wants too much money. We're good enough with the pitchers we have, but we lost with the pitchers we have outside of Herman. We've been losing with those same pitchers. So how are they suddenly good enough? And again, tell me the last pitcher that was produced by the New York Yankees that's a perennial all-star. There isn't one under Brian Cashman. There isn't one.
No, absolutely not. Agreed. It's ridiculous. I just hope this guy LeMahieu bounces. You know what I'm saying? I would like to see him stay, but they're doing him just no justice whatsoever. You know what I'm saying? They're just slapping him right in the face, and I hope he returns fire and leaves.
I hope he go to Toronto.
I think
that
he will.
I know y'all gonna be. I know y'all gonna be mad at me for that, but
that'd be sweet.
Hey,
I'm not gonna lie.
That'd be. You had a chance to retain this man, who, bar none, is one of the best hitters in baseball.
Exactly.
Solid defensive guy at second base. Multi-dimensional. He can be moved from first, second, third. But hey, I don't think that number is right for us.
Yeah. Hey, listen, they devalued Giancarlo Stanton. Giancarlo Stanton won an MVP while playing the outfield in the National League, which means he played the outfield every doggone day because ain't no DH. He came to the Yankees. They turned him into half a player, and they keep wondering why he's only been giving you basically half as much production as you could possibly be getting, and he stays hurt all the time. Well, he's used to playing, not sitting around. Right. So you're paying him $20-some-odd million a year to not play, and he keeps saying, I want to play the outfield. It's not like he came and said I didn't want to play, right? But he said, I'll do what the organization wants. He's been a good soldier about it.
He's a really good outfielder as well.
Yeah. So, and here's the thing. Kyle Schwarber got non-tendered by the Cubs. Kyle Schwarber is a masher, okay?
Right.
If you put Stanton back in the damn outfield, you can sign Schwarber, who is a butcher in the outfield. He's a butcher in any position. He's really just a DH. Now you have a full-time DH.
Right.
Or, it's a lot of ways you could go. Or you could make that trade with Pittsburgh, send them Frazier, a couple of these young pitchers that you claim are going to be so good, to get Jameson Taillon, who actually is the ace of the Pirate staff, who would slot right in behind Garrett Cole as a number 2 starter, and Josh Bell, who is nothing but a run producer. He'll hit you about 25 home runs, but he's going to drive in 90.
Right.
If you bring back LeMahieu, you now have a team that's adaptable enough that when you get to the playoffs and it's a 3-2 game, you got somebody who can drive in that third damn run instead of everybody striking out. But hey, what do I know?
Well said, brother. Well said. Exactly. Just ridiculous. Just ridiculous, man. All right. Well, with that being said, unless anybody else has any more commentary on this whole situation, we're going to do some moving on to the NFL. We were just talking about this team not too long ago, guys. The Pittsburgh Steelers, after they started out the season with a 11-0 record, now they're in the midst of a 3-game skid. Yeah. This is, I know.
Yo, I watched pieces of that game.
Okay.
When I got home, Brother Daoud made a good point. He said, "Remember when Big Ben could just sling it,
real
crisp, put it into any window, right? He attempted to throw a pass, and the guy was sitting there. He was sitting there in the zone. And any other time, Big Ben would have zipped that past him.
Right.
Big Ben is becoming a shell. They need to move on. He's banged up because he's older, and as the season has gone on, he's gotten banged up. Their running back is banged up. Defense is meh. And they're 11-0. I mean, they're 11-3 now.
Well,
they look like they have no fire anymore.
Mac,
and they're playing better teams.
Okay. With that being said, I think I went over a few reasons why they weren't considered the best team in the AFC.
Right.
You know, even when they were unbeaten. You understand? They start out slow.
Yes.
If you notice with Ralph,
they did last night.
If there you go, case in point. With Big Ben, he doesn't really get going until the second half. More specifically in the fourth quarter. The games have been close, he's pulled it out. You understand? But as far as like being dominant, I think they had one game this year in which they were dominant. You know what I'm saying? I could be wrong, but I think it was against Cleveland. I could be mistaken.
Bengals game. It was the Bengals game.
Bengals, excuse me. Thank you, Chandler. Bengals. Okay, one game, and that was against the Bengals where they were dominant from start to finish. Other than that, the games have been closely contested. You know what I'm saying? They were fortunate to get those 11 wins. They were very fortunate. I can't put it any other way. You understand?
It's crazy because
I agree with you.
You know, they ran Le'Veon Bell out when they didn't have to. And now we got James Conner. James Conner can't stay healthy.
Right.
Now the Antonio Brown thing is what it is, but Juju Smith-Schuster had a lot to say when Antonio Brown was going through what he was going through. Hey, Juju, how's that working out for you? You haven't had a 100-yard game since Antonio Brown left. Deontay Johnson can't catch a cold, much less a football. Okay.
Right.
James Washington still can't catch balls. They have the most drops. Again, you got a quarterback coming off elbow surgery. You're throwing 50 times a game. That same offensive line that trashed Le'Veon Bell can't block to save their lives. They can't pass block, and they can't run block. And this is what Tomlin kept saying over and over and over. He kept saying it was fool's gold.
Yeah, you know.
Right? And right now, honestly, what I believe is that I believe that the Steelers are going to be a wild card team. And the only reason that the Steelers won't not make the playoffs at all, because I think they're going to wind up with the same record as the Ravens, 11-5. But because they beat the Ravens, even though they should have lost both of those games because they gave up over 300 plus rushing yards to the Ravens in both of those games. If the Ravens had won one of those games, the Ravens would make the playoffs. I think the Ravens are going to wind up 11-5, miss the playoffs because of the tiebreaker with Pittsburgh. But Pittsburgh is losing the last two games.
Yeah,
they're going to be 11-5, and they're out in the first round.
Well, you know what? Cleveland is look good. I told y'all they had a good coach, and that what was going to happen was going to happen. Cleveland is gelling. I think they might have a similar record. So if things continue and Pittsburgh finishes 11-5, they might not make the playoffs, Chandler.
Well, the thing is, because if Miami loses, and then it'll come down to Miami or Baltimore or Pittsburgh if they drop that low. That's the thing. Right. But let's say the Dolphins finish 11-5, the Ravens finish 11-5, Pittsburgh finish 11-5. Pittsburgh gets in because they beat Baltimore twice.
Right. Yeah. Which and all those teams are flawed.
Right. And the Steelers already clinched the playoff spot. It's just where they're going to play. So they're in the playoffs. But are they a wild card? Or are they playing at home or on the road?
Right now they're the third seed.
Right. Right. But if they finish 11-5 by losing to Cleveland on the last game of the season, Cleveland wins the division.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting because they owe Ben is owed $40 million next year. If you cut him, that's still probably like a $25 to $30 million cap hit.
Right.
What are you going to do? See, this is where I say, again, not to go back to the Jets, You got the second pick. Trade Darnold. You know who you trade Darnold to? Trade him to Pittsburgh. If I'm Pittsburgh, I'll take Sam Darnold because then I build up my run game. I don't let him do anything. I treat him like Roethlisberger his first couple of seasons. Just don't lose the game. We're going to run the ball. Right? He's going to be cheaper than Roethlisberger by a lot. Okay?
And they have good receivers.
Right. So it's a win-win for everybody.
Interesting. Very interesting. Yeah. Yep. I agree. I like that. Chandler. Yeah, but like I was saying, man, smoke and mirrors. They've been getting away, man. Smoke and mirrors. They've been getting away. Everybody's like, oh, I made a joke earlier on a group text with Mac and
Did you check in on that, brother?
I ain't checking on him. I was like, yo, I didn't know, but I was joking around saying because he's a big time Steeler fan. This is the guy that has the whole regalia, the whole jacket and the book bag and the mask.
Yeah,
you know,
the jackets, the sweater.
Yeah, everything. So he comes into work with this stuff, and I'm like, dude, stop it. But I made a joke. I said, listen, you know. Like he's probably we got to do a wellness check on his brother because I haven't heard from him, and I know how to call I know exactly how the call would go too. It'd be like, okay, I called 911. Yeah, 911. What's your emergency? I have a friend of mine. I need to have you guys do a wellness check on him. He's a Steeler fan, and the operator would cut me off. Okay, gotcha. Cut me off in mid sentence or whatnot. Right. Okay, gotcha. We're on it. You know what I'm saying?
Right, but fellas, when Mike Tomlin made that comment, obviously his team didn't listen because we still see the same results. And
obviously,
there are a lot of arrogant players on that team who are long in the tooth and who are living off past glory. And the primary example of that is Marquise Pouncey. Pouncey ain't the same center he was 3 years ago, even 2 years ago. The Villanueva who always, I got to stand up for this because I was an Army Ranger. Yeah, you're a clown and you got beat on every play. The best player on that team is Minka Fitzpatrick, who they traded for. They can't keep their middle linebackers healthy. They lost what's my man's name?
Lost another one.
But the one who couldn't play football anymore, whose name I can't remember. They lost him. Then they got the kid. Was it Bush? They lost him. Bud Dupree's out there. You know what? I think this is the beginning of what we would consider a rebuild in Pittsburgh.
Hey, they're gonna have to do it. They're set at receiver, so which is a blessing. They were lucky.
But are they though? Because they got too many drops.
They do, but they're decent. They're good.
Yeah, they are good.
You set at receiver for Connor is all right, but like you said, he's always dinged up. Roethlisberger can't make the same throws he used to make. His fastball is gone.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
He's 38 coming off of elbow surgery. It takes you a year for that to come back.
Right.
And then do you want to pay a 39-year-old $40 million?
No. Yeah. Well, we're going to see. It's going to be an interesting quote unquote rebuild for them because, this is a team that like you guys have said before, they don't really go through these long periods of being like majorly subpar.
Right.
You understand? There's a season or two, maybe 7-9. You understand? 8-8. But I don't think any worse than that. You understand? So this is going to be interesting to see how they come back from this.
What's even crazier? Remember last year, everybody was talking about maybe it was time for Tomlin to go.
Yes.
Right?
Yep. Yeah. I was one of them.
Yes.
This year, the blame is going squarely on the players. It's going squarely on the players.
Right.
That's the funniest thing. Now, how many coaches could survive going from 11-0 to 11-5 and maybe being one done in the playoffs? Right. At this point, normally we're screaming for the coach's job.
For
right
sure.
Now,
easily.
Because of what he did last year, man, listen, you better not say nothing about Mike Tomlin.
Exactly.
Since we talking about the AFC old Central, the AFC North.
Yeah.
Interesting name came up for a job. Actually, two interesting names, but one went in a little.
Oh, who?
Mr. Marvin Lewis.
I'm sorry.
I'd like to see Marvin get a job. I'm telling you, if you think about and listen, we're gonna take the playoff stuff out of it, right? Take the playoff stuff out of it. If you look at the owner he played for, right?
Right. And the GMs.
Cheap, right? And he managed to keep that team relevant.
Okay.
He kept them relevant, bruh. They won some division titles. He won division titles with Andy Dalton.
Oh, you're right. Ugh.
You know what I'm saying? Give him an owner who actually want to spend some money, real training facilities, a real scouting department where he's not the one scouting players, giving them the rub down, you know what I'm saying, putting ice in the cold tub, you know what I'm saying, washing the towel. Come on, man.
I hear you and I respect what you're saying.
What?
Yeah, but okay. Here's the but. Somehow listen, I'm going to try to break it down best I can. Somehow, I just can't see. Let's say that trade that you had put up, that proposition of Darno being in Pittsburgh, combine that with Marvin Lewis.
I didn't say he was taking over Pittsburgh.
Oh no. Marvin got to go to Jacksonville, someplace like that.
Oh, okay.
Remember, he had a it was an offer, right? He had an interview.
Yeah, the interview. Excuse me. Okay, my bad.
Oh yeah, that's a BS interview. You're talking about Carolina.
Was it Carolina, Mac?
I'm about to tell y'all in a second. Keep talking.
If it's Carolina, I think it's a BS interview. No, it can't be Carolina because they got a coach.
Yeah. I forget who. I just saw this earlier today, but I forgot. I can't.
Detroit, maybe? Detroit?
Was it Detroit?
Who else?
Oh, no, it was Houston.
Houston, that's it. Thank you.
Oh, no. You know what? It'll be Cincinnati all over again.
No. If he goes there, you keep Romeo Crennel.
Who's the GM?
They don't have one yet, which is
exactly.
No, I'm sorry. No, Marvin.
Marvin needs to say no to that job because he's going to be in the same position he was with Cincinnati. I'm telling you, they're setting him up.
Right.
That's a setup to fail because that ownership is dude. They put Bill O'Brien in charge of the organization. Come on,
exactly.
Man. You really want to work for them?
No. Don't do it. I'm sorry.
I know Sean Watson is there, but honestly, and you know what? Because ownership has to sign off a lot of stuff. Think who have they really gotten besides Deshaun Watson on the offensive side of the ball? They haven't done a lot, man, with their franchise, and they've had some quality players there.
Exactly. So, thank you.
It was Jim Caldwell who got the interview with Houston.
Okay.
Where's Marvin? Where was his interview?
They said he has several teams interested in.
Okay.
But I like Marvin should go to Houston. I mean, Jim should go to Houston. Retain Romeo Crennel as your defensive coordinator.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully, Houston signs they should sign a GM first before they sign the coach.
Agreed. Of course.
Yeah. Otherwise, because this nonsense of hiring coaches, then hiring the GMs, it's not working.
It doesn't work.
It's not
working. Well, it's ass backwards.
Right.
It's ass backwards. Bottom line, doesn't make any sense. It's stupid. Because now that the new GM is gonna have a coach. As he walks through the door, I don't even know
who's that.
Exactly. I don't even know this guy.
Oh, I didn't hire him.
I didn't hire him. Exactly. You're gonna create a situation right there. You understand?
Well, if the GM is an adult, he'll speak to the coach.
And again, you said,
how often does that happen? That's why they said John Lynch wound up where he wound up, because I think John Lynch he's in San Francisco. He wanted to be in Tampa Bay, but it was a whole thing with them bringing him in after the coach, and he felt like the coach was going to try to knife him, so he went somewhere else. And
smart move.
Hire the general manager.
Exactly.
Right. Detroit is doing it also. Detroit is about to hire the coach before they hire the GM.
Well, that's why Detroit is Detroit.
But hold on, I've heard that that's Louis Riddick's job if he wants it. So maybe they got a sort of a handshake agreement behind closed doors. Like Louis, like, listen, I want to finish out the season on Monday Night Football. I want to honor my contract, and then I'll take the job. So if that's the case, then I think that if Louis Riddick gets the job, which I hope he does, then I think that he's already signed off on who the coach is going to be.
Okay. All right. Well, we have to keep monitoring that one.
Because that coach better be Eric Bieniemy, by the way. It better damn be Eric Bieniemy.
Well, we're going to see.
He should be everybody's coach.
Exactly.
Okay. For sure. We're going to see how this winds up. You know what I mean? Definitely, man. All right. Let's see. Let's get into the New York Giants blowing it against the Cleveland Browns Sunday. That was a Sunday night football game.
Yes, it was.
I didn't see this game, obviously, but however, I just found what I want to say. I'm gonna keep it short myself. I just find it hilarious that it was only a few weeks ago when all was well in Giant Land, especially with the fans.
Yeah.
The fans were flying all over the place, all in euphoria. Yeah, all in euphoria. We're going to make the playoffs. Playoffs?
We got a good defense. What did I say, What did I say? They hadn't played. They beat Seattle, which is a good team.
Right.
But who else did they beat?
Yeah.
Not good teams. And some of the bad teams they played beat them.
Exactly. You know,
they played a good team. What happened?
Well, it all came apart, obviously.
They played two good teams. What happened?
It all came apart because my thing is simply this, dude. Yo, what's up with the? It's funny. I can still remember it like yesterday. Praising this guy Daniel Jones. Praise. He
had 3 mistake-free games. Okay.
Yeah. Where there no turnovers, and they were just so ready to shine the lights on the great Daniel Jones and let the anointing begin.
All right, I got a question for you. After that, did you wipe your screens off? Because there's a lot of babies.
I didn't wipe my screen off because I wasn't on that level. No, you should be questioning other people.
No, I mean, I went to Twitter. I went in our Facebook group. I went to my page.
Yeah, it was all crusty. It was all crusty. Yeah, you had to use the heavy duty wipes and whatnot because it was all crustified and whatnot. I'm like, oh my god, what is all this?
This is a family show.
He's back. He's been quiet. He's been quiet for a minute.
No, I'm just taking it all in, but I feel like I gotta step in and say. This is a family show.
No, it isn't.
PG.
No, it isn't. No, this is rated R.
Huh?
This is rated R. Okay, just knock it off. Just realize it for what it is. Don't put up no BS PG doctrine. Okay,
into the Me Too lane. Let's.
Whatever. I don't give a damn about those people.
Nobody was violated.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's put the blinkers on and switch to the next lane.
But no, seriously though, man. We're speaking the truth, man. Come on, you had a hard time looking at your laptop or your computer because it was all crustified from the Giant fans. You know it's the truth, dude. Come on,
Yeah.
You already know the deal, huh? Come on now, you know it's the truth.
Yeah, I mean, won a few games in a row. Want to be happy about something. And it looked hopeful for a second, and then we got smacked back down to reality.
There you go. Thank you.
Got smacked back down to reality.
I just can't stand. If it happens, fine. You understand? Because I'm not gonna act like it's never happened before. You understand? With the Giants or any other sports organization, I'm not gonna because I've seen it. But at the same time, could we just kind of tone it down, be realistic, think logically?
Nope.
Before you go on and anoint these people as, we're going to the playoffs. You're going to the playoffs with a freaking 5-9 record. Come on, stop it. There's something wrong. It's just like there's no connect You understand? I'm like, what are you thinking? Okay, yes, so the rest of the division sucks. Okay, so what? But guess what? You're in that division too. You're not that much better. You suck as well. You're in the same division as the rest of those sucky teams. So no, you can't go and predict what's going to happen 3 to 4 games in the future. That's ridiculous to me. Be realistic.
They're a playoff team.
Be realistic.
Defense is great.
I don't care.
They can get in stops. We got a good second string running back. Daniel Jones has been the man. Colt McCoy has been the man.
Be realistic is all I'm asking. That's all I ask.
I mean, with those last 3 games, the defense was pretty good, though. The defense was pretty good.
The last 3 games, and what
happened? Not the last 3, but that 3-game winning streak. The defense.
I'm about to say the last 3 games.
Who they play?
Huh?
Who they beat?
Stop asking questions.
Okay.
They beat somebody. Yeah,
exactly.
They beat somebody during that 4-game winning streak. Yeah, when it was
all good. They beat Seattle.
Okay. All right, good.
That was cute. It was cute, right?
It was. I'll give a golf clap. Or the Nancy Pelosi clap. I'm just saying, it was cute. Okay, whatever. But are they going to the playoffs?
Nope.
Can you say with 100%?
Oh, wait. If Washington sits their crazy quarterback down for what he did, then maybe they got a chance to possibly win the division.
They do, because that made. I'm glad you just mentioned that bum ass fucking idiot. Pardon my. See, this is why I'm. Oh God, Jesus Christ. Okay.
Check your blood pressure before you speak, okay, brother?
Brother, use your words. Use your words.
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
I'm not gonna curse. Even though I just did.
And I am internally praying for you.
Yes. Let me just get myself together. Okay, Dwayne Haskins, Chandler. We talked about this before the show.
Pre-show.
Yeah, Dwayne Haskins. Good God, moron. I had texted Mac 611 about this, and Mac didn't know at the time, because he was busy. And I texted him the TMZ link with that story with this guy going to a strip club unmasked. Okay, no mask on, going to party at the strip club. Okay. You'd have to be living under a freaking rock to know that this is something you don't want to do at this time, especially with the news of a different strain of COVID-19 out in UK, and you have just recently, until just recently, I should say, they had, the airports open for flights to and from the UK. You understand? So where is your thinking? And not just that, but where is your thinking of your teammates and people on the staff, personnel? Where is your thinking?
Man, I gotta see Sasha Rain.
But I'm just saying, where's the responsibility? You know what I'm saying? There is none.
Well, can I say something? I'm sorry to interrupt you.
Yes. Okay. But you can interrupt me, but before you even say anything, please, for the love of God, I hope you're not on his retainer. That's all I'm going to say.
No, I'm just saying. So from what I gathered from the story, he was just going to get some chicken wings.
We going with that again?
No, he's not. No, he was. He was not. He was not looking at he was trying to get. You know what? He was going to trick. He was going tricking. You understand? And hoping he wound up with a treat. That's what he was doing. You understand? But my thing is this, dude. What is wrong with you? What's wrong with you? Why would you do something like that? Again, you're not living under a freaking rock. You know the deal. But you want to go out there and that was just purely stupid. Purely stupid. I think he just basically, well, maybe I'm going too far. He basically signed his death warrant. Death warrant as far as being a quarterback. I think, yeah, you know, I have to say that.
The guys have done worse.
Really?
There's nothing worse than doing what he did during COVID. You can't go maskless.
Come on. That's ridiculous.
He took an unnecessary risk. I got it. He took an unnecessary risk. They found out. Have they quarantined him from the team? Or did
Not that we know. He has to take tests, though. They are frequently tested. So,
maybe I'm just saying, maybe he thought because they were testing him that if something happened, that he would, if he contracted something, that they would catch it in the test. I mean, it's no excuse.
There is none.
But again, I mean, I'm not gonna chop the guy's hands off. You made an error in judgment. There's plenty of guys in the NFL.
He has a history, though.
It's not that simple.
He's done some other stuff that.
Thank you. It's not that simple.
So exactly. So what I'm just focusing on, Your Honor, you can't you can't bring past transgressions or alleged transgressions into the conversation when we're dealing with this instance.
Why not?
We're dealing with this instance right here.
No, why not?
Why not?
If he has a track history, it's for a reason. Why does he have a track history then?
Well, then you shouldn't expect
behavior.
Then you shouldn't expect anything different. If my client has a track history of making bad judgment or bad decisions, then why isn't the team doing something better to help guide his decision making?
But we're talking about something that's common knowledge. We're talking about a public hazard. You understand?
Right.
And he shouldn't have to be babied to know that. You understand?
Does he need somebody like Pac-Man Jones needed in Dallas?
Yeah, you need to walk around with a fucking chaperone or something. No, that shit is dumb.
Grown man.
Maybe.
Exactly. Maybe. That shit is dumb. I can't excuse that. No, absolutely not. You know, no, because you're not. It's already foolish enough to jeopardize your own health, but now we're talking about others as well,
right.
And spreading it.
Right, and we've seen with other teams that multiple people within the organization get it because somebody caught it and they didn't do what they were supposed to do.
Right.
Like the Denver Broncos had to play a game without a quarterback because their quarterbacks were meeting together without masks and they all got COVID, or they had to be quarantined.
Right. It's just like I said, very irresponsible. You know what I'm saying? So again, he has a pass. He's done past transgressions, as you said, but we're talking about on another level. You understand, with this particular situation.
So, would you suspend him or fine him or both?
Both. You know me, I'm a disciplinarian, bro. I don't play that shit. You know what I'm saying? He's lucky I'm not the NFL commissioner, because he would get hit hard. I'm not even front.
In the midst of a playoff run, which they're in the playoff race,
right? You
would suspend your quarterback because your other quarterback is injured and your other backup quarterback is a nondescript.
Nondescript.
I think they have. Don't they have penalties and so forth in place where they can fine the team and fine the player if they violate? If they violate,
the NFL has protocol, but teams also have protocol. He can be fined by them.
So I mean, you fine them. You make it something that is like, it's not a slap on the wrist. You fine them, but I mean to say, okay, well, we're gonna take this away from you to teach you a lesson. It's like, I don't know if that's really gonna teach them a lesson. But
yes, it will. Yes, it will. Yes, it will.
Are you punishing the player or are you punishing the organization?
Well, you know what? I'm punishing the player, but and you know what? To a degree, I hear what you're saying. To a degree, I am punishing the team, but I'm making the team be responsible for him.
Right.
Because they're gonna come down on him for that. Yeah, you mean to tell me you cost me my extra playoff money I could have made and whatnot for you going to some for you being a trick and going to some strip club, ninja.
you have
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I mean, again, yeah, they made a commitment, and you have your teammates, you have the coaching staff, you have yourself, your family that you have to take into consideration. And he had an error in judgment, and it's kind of like, yeah. First of all, you need to make sure that he understands the gravity of the situation, and just
Oh, he will.
There's a lot of people that could have been impacted by it.
He would understand if I traded him to the Jets tonight.
Wow. Okay, there you go. That's horrible right there.
No, I mean
that right there is horrible. That's
money
bad
fines.
enough.
Money fines. That should be. I think a monetary fine, that would fine the organization and fine him, and I think that's probably.
I don't know if the NFL is going to fine him, but like I said, the Washington organization has their own protocol in place as a team, so that's up to the GM, coach, and owner.
Well, doesn't the NFL have protocol of fine the team?
Possibly, yeah, you're right on that too.
So you find the team, and then the team turns around and fines him for violating the COVID protocol,
and then I trade him,
putting everybody at risk, and then you ride out the season, because it's like if you have the potential of being in the playoffs, you ride it out, and then you do something, after the season is over.
Well, no, we're gonna deal with this right now. We're gonna deal with this right freaking now.
It's the NFL, dude. It's the NFL.
I don't care. I don't care who it is. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna deal with this right now, and that's it. Like I said, at this time, in what's going on currently or whatnot in the news or whatnot, you're not gonna overlook that. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You're gonna deal with that. That's just what it is. It may sound unfair. It may sound harsh, but it is what it is. You understand? We got to see. This is the problem. We got to take the severity of this issue seriously. You understand? Right. And the best way to send the message is to send the harsh message. Period. Otherwise, people aren't going. They're not going to get it. You still got people out here. Listen, you still got people out in Whitestone, Queens, Flushing, a Republican group, 50 of them, going to some party or whatever. You understand? Some meat. Okay. 50 of them. They had masks on. They get in, they take the mask off. They had their temperature taken. And they were like, okay, we're good. We don't have to put the mask back on. Just because their temperature was quote unquote normal. You understand? When you see examples like this, come on, man. It's ridiculous, dude. It's ridiculous. You understand? So yeah, I'm gonna be a tough motherfucker when it comes to shit like that.
So
you understand?
How do you feel about the White House holding Christmas party maskless?
Excuse me?
How do you feel about them having Christmas parties and events at the White House maskless? How do you feel about them holding events at the White House?
I feel the same way how I feel right now.
Yeah.
Nothing. The needle hasn't moved 1 inch. I feel the same way.
So
nothing changes. Nothing changes. I feel the same exact way. Just like I did a few minutes ago. Nothing changed.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's all bullshit. You know what I'm saying? This is why we're not going to get out of this anytime soon. Even with the so-called great vaccine, which I think is bullshit too. You know what I'm saying?
Certain people still holding big ass weddings. Certain people still running the strip clubs.
Yeah, come on.
People partying. They people still the people, the swingers still swinging at swing parties.
Dude,
really?
all that stuff is happening still to this day. You understand? Just like I said, you got legal parties, these raves and all that stuff in Williamsburg, Brooklyn, and Manhattan, Chelsea. You got all these people are selfish.
People going to rooftop bars, really?
Yeah, people are selfish. Let's keep it real. You know what I'm saying? They at first when this thing was hitting hard, they took it serious. But after a while, people were like, you know what? I'm tired of this. I'm tired of wearing a mask. Oh, woe is me.
I want to party.
Yeah, you know what? I'll come visit you. I'll bring some flowers while you have that tube down your throat for you trying to breathe.
And then you have the mouth breathers who say COVID is a hoax.
Oh, please. Fucking idiots.
And I've lost friends from high school and college.
Right. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm like, yo, get out of here. You know?
Other people have lost family members.
For sure.
But it's a hoax.
Yeah. I'm sick of it. So when so excuse me, when I get a little bit, angry and emotional with this guy and his bad judgment. Like I said, has he been living under a fucking rock? No, you haven't. You know what's going on.
Hey, he wanted to make it rain. He hadn't made it rain in a while, so he's
a fucking idiot. He's a fucking idiot.
He wanted a downpour.
Like I said, he's a fucking idiot. You know?
I agree with you.
And if he does wind up with it, good.
Wow. Whoa.
I don't care.
The views and opinions expressed by the host of In the Paint are not representative.
Take that logo down behind you, brother.
Or any of its affiliates.
Take that logo down behind you.
Like,
I meant to compliment you. That looks fat.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate that.
But take it down now, because you know what you did.
What I do?
You went a little too hard there.
Okay, I'm sorry. Oh yeah, let me take it. Okay, let me go off camera. I'll go off camera. There we go.
No, bring it back.
Those of consultants. Not employees.
I'm just saying, man. Yeah, listen, sometimes you gotta get what you deserve. You gotta get what you deserve.
Yeah.
You know, I'm just saying. Listen. I'm no perfect citizen by no stretch of imagination.
Well, we know this.
Sir, I know you off screen.
We know this.
I'm no perfect citizen, but damn it, I mean, come on, it's ridiculous, man. It really is.
It's a slippery slope when you start saying that people deserve.
Well, listen,
people deserve that.
You went down a slippery slope.
I did. Yeah, just like
no, not you, Haskins.
Oh, yeah, exactly. I feel this. Listen, certain people need to just like meet their maker, and that's just what it is. I said the same thing about Joe Namath, with the Bolivian hitman snuffing him out because he's responsible for the Jets malaise. That's just what it is. People refuse to acknowledge this.
And all he wanted was a little kiss. That's all he wanted.
Okay, stop.
That's all.
Stop. I know,
Joe just wanted a kiss.
I know, but I don't want to hear that. Stop it. Okay, but I'm just saying, he made the deal with the devil back in Super Bowl III, and ever since then, it's been shitty feels for the New York Jets.
He saw something. He was like, "Hey, I just want a kiss."
Kill him. I'm just saying. Just Jet fans need. Again, I'm gonna say it again. Jet fans need to put their money together. Whatever few pennies they have, put them all together collectively. And get a nice Bolivian or Chilean hitman and kill this guy.
Ladies and gentlemen, the views and opinions expressed by the consultants on In the Paint are not the views and opinions expressed by In the Paint.
Listen, man.
Or any of its affiliates.
I'm just keeping it real. I'm just keeping it real, brother. That's all it is.
The show is a consultant. So those are his personal views. In the Paint does not advocate any violence.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for keeping us. Yeah, thank you very much.
Discrimination based on orientation, sexuality, religion, race, mental capacity, alleged mental capacity.
I'm trying to get this country back in order. See, if you listen, let me tell you something. If you had me as mayor of New York, God. The wonderful times, I tell you, the wonderful times we would have in the city. It wouldn't be like
Max.
It wouldn't be like this dickhead De Blasio. You know what I'm saying? That's for sure. I'd be light years ahead of that guy. There's no question about it. You know the saying, there'd be a chicken in every pot. Well, in my case, there'd be 2 chickens in every pot. Yeah.
Dude, you had your run at mayor and you failed.
I didn't have my run in there. No, I didn't fail either.
Weren't you that dude, that candidate that was like the rent is too damn high?
No, that's not me. Okay, listen. You know what I hate? I can't stand that. That's one thing I'm gonna do. I'm gonna address this thing because I'm gonna address it because my thing is this: I can't stand the comparisons to him. I can't stand the one that really makes me pissed off is the TD Jakes reference. I hate that shit.
What? Somebody referred to you as him?
Yeah, they said, "Oh, there's TD Jakes," and I was like, "Fuck out of here!" It's like, first of all, I'm not fat.
Right. That's like the Spike Lee comparisons I get. I don't look like a cricket. As Eddie Murphy eloquently referred to him as.
You do kind of look like TD Jakes.
See, and then another one I get, which I really hate as well, almost as much as I hate TD Jakes, is the Emmitt Smith thing. That's hilarious to me. Yeah, I've heard it, man. I'm serious. It's ridiculous.
You're just an angry black man.
But you know what it is? Though, honestly? I'm getting sick and tired because I'm a bald-headed black guy, dark-skinned guy with the white goatee. So now anybody that looks remotely like that, that's me. And it makes me sick.
Sometimes I shudder when I'm doing the show because I hear violence in your voice. Well, and it scares me a little.
No, don't be scared. Don't be scared. You know what? It'd be a great rule to have in New York City. See, again, a great rule would be like to have like 3 free assaults from you can't get prosecuted. I said assaults, not killing.
Really?
No, hear me out. No, hear me out.
Tell me that.
No, see,
can I use a bat?
No, I didn't say kill. Okay, that's attempted murder with a bat. You gotta do
I'm
with your
just going
hands.
for knees. I'm going.
You gotta do with your hands. You gotta do with your hands. See, my thing is this: you gotta have 3 free assaults, no prosecution, a year.
And I use a bat.
A year. I know that I would. No bats. Only your hand. I know I wouldn't have to leave my company for my 3 free. You already know. Shut up, Mike.
You see my fists? I'm a little. You see the fists? They small, man. I'm a light hitter.
That's attempted murder. No.
Not at the knees.
Okay, Bishop, what's wrong? What you disagree with that?
Well, so in other words, if I'm deciphering your vernacular correctly, you're on the show advocating physical violence. Why can't you just talk it out? Like,
because let me tell you something, and let's keep it real for a second. Everybody in New York, state, city, everybody, they have at least 1 to 2 people that they want to beat the hell out of, but they don't do it because of fear of prosecution, criminal prosecution. They won't do it.
One of mine.
Yeah,
or just simple humanity.
What's that again?
Or just simply because
there is no humanity. There is no humanity in the world today. That happened decades ago. Okay, we're talking about the guys with the fedoras and the women when they were really women and whatnot. Yeah, I said that. You know what I'm saying?
Oh god.
Yeah. So where there is no society anymore today. This is true. There is no society. We're dealing with mostly animals now. That's just what it is.
So you treat them like animals?
Huh?
So you treat them like animals in response?
Well, there you go. Yeah. When in Rome, I mean.
So then I get to use my bat.
No, he can't. That's attempted murder. Can't have any weapons.
I'm only swinging at the knees.
I don't care. This is a Dave Chappelle's show, the World Series of Dice, where the guy was like, "Oh, let me take a shot." He hit him below the waist. Oh, you can't. No, none of that. Okay.
I just sent you some virtual sage.
So we Kyrie Irving in right now?
I just sent him some virtual sage so that he can get rid of those demons that he's dealing with.
I don't have. See, he thinks I have demons or whatnot because I'm speaking the truth.
Brother. Would you accept that one?
No.
Wow. Okay, Ronan. That's.
Yeah, I can see that one.
Okay, Ronan. See, that's what I'm saying. Every dark-skinned, bald-head black guy with a fucking
let's look at the
gray
comparison between you and Hawk from Spencer.
Holy shit!
And
I like Spencer. I like that show. I like Hawk. That was my dude. I ain't go front.
Bald head, dark skin, angry black man.
Yeah. Well, okay, I can go with that.
Island.
I go with that. I'm not gonna lie. But I'm just saying, man. I'm sick of society. I hate people. You know, I can't stand the society. It's annoying.
Slide to your right. You're not in full front. There you go.
Yeah, I got one. I got a comparison.
Go ahead.
I got a comparison.
Please. Oh, jeez. I'm scared of this one right here.
No.
I'm scared.
Samuel Jackson and Django.
You know what?
He called you a sellout, bro.
He surely did. He just did.
No.
He threw out a hell of an insult right there. That's fucked up, bro.
Come on. Now you're getting sensitive.
Yeah, you're right. No, that's messed up, man. That's messed up.
You're getting sensitive. Now you're getting sensitive.
I'm not gonna start crying and shit, but that's messed up. I see what you're trying to do. You're trying to get at me.
A little bit.
You're trying to get at me. Okay. So I get it. It's all good. But I'm just saying.
Can we talk about the Jets?
Yes, we can. I'm sorry. I'm gonna stay on for a few more minutes before I break. I'm sorry. I wasted enough time. My bad. I went off on a little tangent, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sorry. I get like that at times. So you have to forgive me.
It was lovely, man. You let everybody know you violent and you look like Hawk from Spencer Fire.
Again, my apologies. I'm sorry if I wasted your time.
Randomness with the
I'm sorry. Just God, jeez. All right. Yes, Hawk, angry as hell, and he carried a Magnum. That's right.
One of my favorites.
Word. That was my shit. I ain't gonna front.
Beautiful.
I ain't gonna front. That was my shit. You know what I mean? So yo, let's get. I'm sorry. Let me get back into sports. This is the last thing I think we're talking about tonight. The New York Jets, they ended their futility streak, and they actually won against the LA Rams clowns for their first win of the season. Max 611 and I had a little bet going on, and
I'm gonna be sick again.
Yes, get ready, Mac. You're gonna be following up. Mac 611. As part of the bet, him losing, he will be wearing some Boston Celtics attire, more than likely a hat along with the t-shirt. Congratulations.
Pray for me, y'all. I might not make it through the night wearing that crap.
And you have to wear it through the whole show. Yes, indeed. There'll be no intermission for you to take it off, and no, the whole show you will be donning Celtic green.
And he can't. If not, he can't fake connectivity issues.
Exactly. Nah, because you'll be coming back the next show and wearing it. Yes, indeed. You know what I'm saying? Excuse me?
I'm gonna do a Skip Bayless.
No, don't do the Skip Bayless, brother. No, don't do that. That's not cool. Just own up. I would have worn I would have worn that Kansas City Chiefs stuff, that garb, that attire, you know. But I knew they was gonna win. I knew it. Because the Jets are so inept. They can't do anything perfect. They can't lose perfect. They can't have a losing streak that like a winless season. No, they have to fuck it up. They have to fuck it up because they're the same old Jets, the New York Jets. This is why I keep saying to fans, "Oh no, I'm not gonna do that again. I'm sorry. Nope, I'm not even gonna do it. I'll just leave it at that. They're just inept."
Adam Gase for president.
Oh yeah, Trump. Why not? Why not? You already had. I mean, how much more worse can be done? You know. So I don't know.
They screwed themselves. They could have the first overall pick in the draft, but now they probably have the second.
Well, why can't they have the first? Isn't there another? There's another team with a one in something.
Yeah, Jacksonville,
but they have the Jacksonville has the tiebreaker.
Mm-hmm. So if they wind up both 1-15, Jacksonville will get the first overall pick in the draft.
What's Jacksonville's remaining teams to play?
I think they have two teams that will probably wipe the floor with them.
Okay.
To tell you honestly, so I don't know who exactly. I read it earlier, and both teams can beat Jacksonville. So from the outside, it looks like they could wind up with a 1-15 record. You know what I'm saying? And really, if you look at it honestly, the Jets, they would have 2 wins if it worked out the right way the other week. You understand? Yeah. So they're gonna blow it. They're gonna have the number 2 pick, and they're gonna just do what the Jets normally do: screw it up,
Jets.
one way or the other. You know what I'm saying? So it's not looking good. I don't know why. Let me ask y'all a question. Why are people Jet fans? Why? I just don't understand that. It's like
we're from New York.
Okay, I'm from New York too. I was a Jet fan. I had enough. I was a Giant fan. I had enough. Now I'm rooting for Buffalo. Go Buffalo. I'll say that till I'm blue in the face.
Long suffering.
You're a front runner.
Whatever.
Long suffering.
Yeah. But you know what? The suffering stopped. Go Buffalo. That's who I root for now. And Max 611 called me a front runner. I don't care. I'll be that. I deserve happiness at my old age. Okay. I'm 56 years old. I'm tired. I'm tired of losing. I'm tired of, my fandom, my support is never faithfully rewarded. You understand? So yeah, the hell with the Jets and the hell with the Giants. I laugh. I'm in first place. I'm about to get an AFC East title, a division title. I'm happy. I'm good. This is a good space we're in.
You sure couldn't tell by all these threats of violence and
well, sometimes you gotta
anti-Mexican sentiment,
No. Let he said, okay, get the Scott Whitman. Yeah, you gotta get the Scott Whitman jersey, son. You gotta do that.
Who's Scott Whitman?
You don't remember him?
I remember him. How about Brian Scalabrine?
Scalabrini?
Yeah.
Oh.
Get the Brian Scalabrine jersey. Mac.
Oh,
he said, hell no. That's great. I tell you, man. Well, I don't know. Mac, what do you got to say?
Nothing else. I just want to thank everybody who is on my timeline on Facebook.
Yeah,
everybody in the chat room. Thank y'all for tuning in with us. We're really showing sports in the paint.
Yes, sir. Nobody ever comments on my page, so it's all right. I don't care.
They'll be there soon.
I don't really care because I'll take my little 2 to 3 compliments or whatever or comments and I'll be happy with that. Because normally
everything will be going fine, and then you break into your Colin Ferguson.
That you know what? That was my hero back then. I love Colin Ferguson.
One of the angriest.
I love that guy. That guy was my hero. God bless him.
And he repped himself.
God bless him.
Who shot you? Who shot you? You did not.
He was the man. I love that guy. Hell yeah. I love him. I'm telling you.
You quoting Biggie? Who shot you?
Yeah, exactly. I love that guy.
He asked the lady, who shot you? She said, you did. He said, no, I didn't.
I love Colin Ferguson. That was the man back then. I tell you, that was the greatest moment. One of the greatest moments in history.
Oh, geez.
Huh?
Oh, jeez.
It was. A black man got on the Long Island Railroad, the typical white mode of transportation, white mode of public transportation, should I say. And he went up there and he got lit. You understand?
Ladies and gentlemen, just one more time for all those listeners out there. The views and opinions expressed by the host of the show In the Paint does not reflect the views and opinions of In the Paint or its corporation or its affiliates or its executives. These are the opinions of a contractor.
Okay, with that being said, I'm gonna
Jesus.
I'm gonna break out, but it's been a fun ride. Thanks for you guys for tuning in. People in chat room, my man Ronan Black, all the support that we got. Max 611 got, I didn't get, but that's okay. I'm not mad at you. I get it, I understand. But thank you for tuning in, and hopefully, I don't think I'll be back on Friday because I have to work.
Monday we're gonna do our NBA review.
Oh, great! So you're giving me homework to do. Fantastic.
Do it.
What if I'm lazy? I don't want to do that shit. Yeah, I'll do
give you a hug.
Don't listen.
Some stage.
It sounded like you needed one.
All right, guys. So peace and thank you for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed. And until the next time. All right.